Okay.
All right, and welcome to another episode of the Jumping the Rail podcast here on the JTR Podcast Network. This is Mark Redmond coming to you from the neutral position in Champaign, Illinois, joined as always by my buddy Minderz. And for a second, I thought you were holding out on me because you moved your headphones, and I thought, shit, who died? And you didn't tell me because.
Oh no! You know what the bad part about that is that I think I'm so used to us always having a 5 bell or 10 bell salute that I just automatically go like
Oh,
this.
okay. I thought you knew something that I didn't, and I was gonna.
Well, we should have one tomorrow. I'll send it to you.
Oh, okay.
But
all right. Well, we got a lot to talk about.
Are you proud?
I'm very proud. That's a nice garment you got there.
Yeah, I like that one.
So, a lot of stuff to talk about from this weekend, Minderz. Well, a lot of stuff to talk about from last week, too.
How many wrestling shows did we watch?
Let's see. I've got 3, but it should have been 5. But I missed a couple.
Okay. I didn't watch all of AEW last week because I wasn't sitting through 4 frickin' hours.
Now, they're doing it again on Wednesday.
I don't care.
Well, I'm just saying it's dumb.
Yeah, it is. I made it through all of NXT. I love the fact that the ass is on your face. That's great. But yeah, then this weekend was what? Worlds Collide, Money in the Bank.
Against all odds.
Tournament
of Survival.
I tried to watch Tournament of Survival.
But you watched Cage of Survival, though.
I watched Cage of Survival. And I thought I recorded AEW, but since they did it stupid on the grid, it only
My DVR froze.
Well, it only went 2 hours because it only had the AEW as 2 hours because the other half was Fighter whatever.
Fighter Fest.
Yeah.
Fighter Fest with a Y.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tony Khan wasn't in the B like I was.
All right, let's get to this. We got important things to take care of. We got lots of things to talk about.
All right, well, let's get into our regular business here, Minderz, because you watched a lot of wrestling, so I'm worried about you, so I think we need to check your brain.
Okay.
So here we go. All right, it is time for Name That Wrestler. Minderz, you know how this works. I show you a picture, you guess who it is. It's really not that difficult.
Okay.
Hey, Dwayne got all 4 hours, so if you need to borrow them, I'm sure you can.
No, I'm good. I'm perfectly fine.
All right, so this is a legend.
Okay.
And it is a black and white photo.
Okay.
And it is not Big Man Chan.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yes. I just saw this.
Shit.
I saw it on Facebook. That's Big Boss Man.
Damn it.
I saw that.
That's the perils that I run when I find a photo on Facebook and I use it, because I don't know which Facebook groups you belong to.
And we probably belong to a lot of the same ones.
I didn't think it'd take you long because I know how much you love Boss Man.
Yeah. Well, and you can tell too. Put that picture back up.
Oh, I already took it off. But yeah.
Oh, you took it down. Okay. But yeah. Yeah, I saw that on Facebook this week because I was like, oh, look at Boss Man. But yeah. Sorry to ruin all your fun on that one.
Oh, no. Every now and then you catch me. It's like that time I put the picture of Finley up and it had his name on it.
Okay, in your defense, though, that was the one that had it on the back. It was on like a
Which one was it? The one that had it like? No, it's Terry Funk. I think was the one that had it. Like,
yeah. Yes, Sean, we know. We noticed that you told us State 30 this morning, too. We know Mariah May debuted. I was wrong. My bad. All right, but let's move on. We have Hoots and Judy's. Don't worry, Sean, we'll get there. And remember, no spoilers for NXT in the chat, please.
all right. Well,
as I say, you left me hanging there. What the hell, dude?
Sorry, I got
Quit watching your baseball game.
No, it's not a commercial. I'm not distracted by that. But we do have to get into Hoots and Judy's, as is our tradition.
Yes.
All right, so starting with our Hoots. And do you want to go first, or should I?
Why don't you go first?
All right. Well, I'm going to preface this by saying I thoroughly enjoyed the Worlds Collide show on Saturday afternoon.
It was really good.
Yes.
We'll talk about it more later because we actually had a lot of people to pick Hoots from this week.
It was a regular Hoot Fest.
It was a Hoot Fest.
I wound up going with the main event. I'm going co-Hoots, Vikingo and Chad Gable.
That was a damn good match.
It was really good.
And you know me, I'm not one for flippy shit, but God, I love Vikingo.
He good.
He real good, especially when you give him the right. Like, he's not just there to do flippy, like he's there to tell a story.
Yeah.
So, like, when he was on AEW and he was just basically there to do the flippy shit.
Let's do a side by side of his debut in WWE and his debut in AEW. Because remember, his debut match in AEW was Omega. It was, what would you say, 10-minute match, 15-minute match, give or take.
If it tells you anything, I don't remember. I don't remember him debuting in AEW.
The vibe I got from that match was it was just picking somebody that had some juice for Kenny to beat.
Dwayne, what do you mean it was good but didn't blow your mind? We'll talk about it later. Don't go in there. We'll talk about it later.
We will discuss.
Yes.
All right. Just doing a little business here. I gotta.
Good Hoots. Good
Hoots. Yes. All right. So yeah, Vikingo and Gable. That was kind of the same way they did when they brought Penta in. The best thing they could do is put him with Gable for his first match.
Yeah. I'm still waiting for that run-in from Americano, whatever.
Well, he was busy. He had to get ready for a ladder match.
Uh-huh.
Are you still not sold on?
Nope.
Well, I'm glad you said that because I have a visual aid, and I'm not gonna go to nipples like Wade Barrett did on commentary. Which, by the way, popped me a little bit when he. Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree.
All right. So, Chad Gable has a tattoo on the back of his neck.
Yes. Well, on his back, between his two shoulders.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I have a piece of video or photo here that's going to dispel any myth that they are, in fact, the same person.
How is
El Grande has two?
Huh?
El Grande doesn't have a tattoo on his back.
That's because the strap comes up and covers it. Are you really
everything?
Okay, all right. I'm just gonna
saying,
go.
I don't see a tattoo.
I don't want to ruin Santa Claus for anybody, so I'll just leave it at that.
There's nothing wrong with suspending your disbelief, Minderz.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's Mr. America, in which case you could not see that was Hulk Hogan.
You think?
Well,
I'm so proud.
He used all the same catchphrases and mustache and all that stuff. Anyway, moving on.
Yes.
Minderz, your hoot, madam.
My hoot this week came back on Sunday night on Money in the Bank, and I popped like an idiot. You should have been in the shed. You would have laughed. I think I woke the neighbors up. I'm just saying.
Because you were in the bitch barn, right?
I was in the bitch barn. And
Is that your first Bitch Barn pay-per-view
it's my first Bitch Barn Well,
of this year?
if you don't count Worlds Collide.
That was a YouTube presentation, wasn't it?
Okay. Then yes, this has been my first pay-per-view out in the Bitch Barn. But yeah. R-Truth, Ron Killings is back, and I can't wait for it to be Ron Killings and not R-Truth. I want a more serious Truth. I think this is going to be great.
Well, you're going to get a more serious Ron Killings, and you're going to get a less hairy Ron Killings after last night.
After last night when he cut his hair off.
I told you I want to see him come out just with his head. I want him to have my haircut. When he comes out next week.
He probably will. I'm figuring he will.
I am very curious where they're going with Truth.
Oh, I am too. Although I'm noticing some similarities between him and John Cena again. Maybe it's just me overthinking.
I think you're overthinking this one a little bit.
Okay. Well, maybe it's just me overthinking. We shall see.
Remember when I sent you guys in the chat the video of the K Crush promo from 2002? That's the Truth we got yesterday.
Yes.
And I was here for it.
Oh, I was too. I was so excited. Even the promo he cut last night.
Mm-hmm.
Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. Thanked everybody bringing him back. Thanked the fans instead of thanking the Authority. Why did I call him the Authority? You get my drift.
The brass, the powers that be.
All right, here you go. AJ's got his good hoot and good Judy. And his good hoot's Chad Gable, which we agree. He gave Vikingo the best match of his career on Saturday. And good Judy is Stephanie Vacker for wrestling 3 times in 3 different venues in under 24 hours.
Okay. Was that SmackDown and Worlds Collide not in the same building?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. She had a good weekend.
She did. I am the truth. I love it. I love it. All right. Let's go to Judy's.
All right. Good Judy's. And
oh, I was like, who did I pick for Judy's?
Oh, I got you.
Oh, I know. I was trying to remember though.
So my Judy, speaking of Dwayne says who's definitely R-Truth. No, it's Ron Killings.
It's Ron Killings.
Calling him R-Truth might get you slapped now.
Might. I like it. Anyway, Judy's.
Anyway, NXT. Because she looked like a fucking star when she showed up. I'm going Mariah May.
I kind of figured you would.
I don't know if there were some people saying that they fast-tracked her debut after Truth got released. And there were some saying they were going to bring her up because all the girls that left went up last week. So they needed a little more star power for the ladies division. I tend to think it's the second part.
Yeah. I don't think it has anything to do with Ron Killings.
No. I mean, there's always conspiracy nuts on the internet saying all kinds of crazy stuff. We'll get into more of that later too. But she came out. She looked great. Cut a really good promo. I'm sure everybody in the crowd knew they didn't say her name, which makes me think they're going to tweak her name a little bit.
I figured they will.
Which happens. They did it with Starks. They did it with Pillman.
You mean Saints and Lexus King?
That's what I'm using their AEW names before they came over.
Yes, we know, Sean. You've told us.
I just said that. I just showed the picture for fuck's sake.
He just showed the picture. Work with us, Sean.
See, I had this picture.
There she is.
But no, I'm very curious. I don't think she's going to be there long. I think she's going to be there to get her feet wet, get her run with the belt, maybe. I'm
going to get picked on. Okay.
Oh, not by me.
Oh no, you'll help, I'm sure.
Hey, you've got some goodwill because you're responsible for next week.
I am responsible. We're 7 days away, Reb.
Hashtag 7 days till Sandman.
Yeah, 7 days till Sandman. That's not Sandman.
No.
That is Sandman. And our debut of Bash the Rail. We're going to team up with the guys from Mad Bash, and we're bringing in the one ECW legend, Sandman.
Hardcore icon.
Hardcore icon. We should let Dickie do the intro.
I was thinking that. We'll let him do it if he can. If he can get it out.
Yeah, that's true.
If he's not asthmatic,
right? If he's not hyperventilating while it's going on. Hey, can I do my duties now, or are we?
I'm getting there. I do want to real quick. Good wishes to Dickie. He's on his vacation. He's been enjoying sunny Florida.
Did
Sean? We will get to it. I promise. It is on the list.
Get there. We'll get there.
Minderz, your Judy, madam.
I have 2.
Well, it's a package deal.
It is a package deal because on the pre-show, package. On the pre-show of Against All Odds, TNA's Ash or the Elegance brand retained their tag team championship.
Although it was 3 on 3. Elegance? Is that Maggie Lee?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's Maggie Lee.
They beat Spitfire, right?
Well, they beat Spitfire and Zaya Brookside. There's 3. It was 3 on 3.
Oh, ladies trios match. A trio.
Yeah, it was a lady trios match.
Okay.
Yeah, it's M, Heather, and Ash.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, that's Maggie Lee. But at the end of that match, as Ash is going on saying how they're the best looking tag team ever and nobody can compare to their beauty, and then some music hits.
Mm-hmm.
And out walked Inspiration. I'm so excited. I've missed, and I'm going to call them what I've known them as forever, and that's the Iconics. But they've been there. They've been out for 3 years.
Yeah, having babies.
One of them had 2 kids. The other one had 1 kid. So, and for having 3 babies between the 2 of them, they look in great shape. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen now at the women's tag division with them back. So.
I mean, that's only going to beef up an already really strong ladies division.
Oh, Myla Grace and Harley Hudson, my bad. And Zaya Brookside.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I thought it was Spitfire. I think they were talking about Spitfire.
They talked about Spitfire through all of it, but yeah. Anyway, let's move on because Hey, wait. So can I do one of my? I had an honorable mention, and I know you don't have a picture, but an honorable mention for Hoot.
I'll bet I have a picture. But go ahead.
You have a picture?
Maybe.
It would be the one Will Ospreay.
Oh, I do not have the picture then.
You do not have the picture.
I don't.
Damn you. Hey, for him to call out AEW or to say why AEW was so bad.
Hoot for honesty.
Right? He gets the hoot for honesty. What?
Dwayne, Judy, Nikki Bella. She
really?
took a heck of an ass kicking from Liv.
She sure did. Stop it. I got controls too, remember?
Oh, I forgot. Okay, so Will Ospreay, yeah. It's kind of funny. You could tell as soon as he said what he said, he's like, fuck. I was like, maybe I shouldn't have said that, bruv.
You know what, though?
But not wrong.
He's not wrong, and I will stop him when he's telling lies. And I'm planning on stopping him anytime soon. So.
Yeah, tell me again why he's not the number 1 contender.
I don't know.
Is Adam Page that over that he can...
They think so. I'm just going to say they think so. It could be that.
Really,
but he's paying Ospreay more.
Yeah, now he's paying his wife too.
Yeah. So I don't know why. I don't know.
Or maybe girlfriend. I don't know if they're actually married or not.
No, they're married.
Are they? Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
If Shadow
Leave it to me to know all the huh?
If Shadow Play was here, he might know because
he would know. All right,
I do have an honorary hoot of my own. Because he made a tremendous first impression on Saturday. He captured the hearts of a universe. It is Mr. Iguana.
I
didn't think I'd like this as much as I did.
I didn't think I would either, and I absolutely loved it.
I'm afraid to hear if Corny watched that show.
Although I'm disappointed in Lindsay Dorado. We'll just
Because
say
he
that.
attacked Layeska?
Yes. And he sold it. And I didn't
Yeah.
like that, but
I don't
what?
like that home run that just happened from
Quit
Mexico.
watching baseball. We're
I
talking
bleed
wrestling.
blue. But no, now people are saying they want to see Mr. Iguana versus Santino.
Okay,
Which
Cobra
could happen,
versus Iguana. I got it. Okay.
but it could happen. TNA and Triple NXT. They're saying they might put Mr. Iguana on NXT, possibly. There's some people saying that he should be the mystery entrant in the King of the Ring tournament. I don't know if I'd go that far, just because I've seen the match that he would be in. But
Yeah.
I would, frankly, if promotions were no barrier, I would love to see him against Danhausen.
No, we decided we need him and Danhausen as a tag team.
As a tag team, okay.
Iguanahausen.
I saw somebody post a matchup, like a bumper for a match between Mr. Iguana and Santino with Mick Foley as the referee. I'm sorry, Layeska versus the Cobra with Mr. Sacco as the referee.
That okay. Alrighty.
So,
okay.
By the way, hats off to Corey Graves for commentary on the Worlds Collide. It was cool having Conan out there.
Conan.
Conan, but I mean,
Conan.
who else would you want to have out there that knows the AAA product and can?
Okay, so I'm gonna say, because when it first started, I really thought Conan did not like Corey.
He just seemed kind of annoyed at first.
He did. But did you happen to see what Conan put up on Twitter?
Yeah, he put him over.
He put him over to the moon, and I loved it.
We will get there, but yeah, I'm hearing a lot of people saying they want truth. I'll save my opinions for when we get to it.
We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, but yeah, Conan had a lot of insight about a lot of people that I wasn't overly familiar with, or at least that I haven't watched in a long time.
Mhm.
Octagon Jr. got consideration for Hoot because he in the trios match, then he had the match with Dom on the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that didn't get announced until after the trios match.
Right. They did a good job of teasing a bonus match, which we were wondering because they only had 4 matches announced before Saturday.
Yep.
And they didn't announce anything on SmackDown, so I was wondering.
Yep. All right, let's get to our Stooge of the week, because I'm kind of really excited
Stooge made me grumpy
about
this week.
I know the Stooge made you grumpy, and for good reason the Stooge made you grumpy.
All right, so this Stooge is adjacent to Mount Stoogemore, not one of the 4 faces. Kind of looks like Curly, though. But
good day, that 90s guy.
Hey, the 90s guy.
Good day.
I love the 90s. That's one of my favorite decades.
Mine too.
My favorite year of wrestling was 1997. But
that's
1989.
right now.
1989, 97. Anyway, so you know how I feel about certain finishing moves being protected?
Yes.
Sorry.
I can just tell that you're already irritated. 97 was a great year.
It was for all 3 companies.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, so you got, nobody kicks out of like your one-winged angels and your hidden blades, and well, they do, but there's.
How about let's go to this. Let's jump directly to the 3D. Nobody
3D.
kicked out 3D.
Only one person did, and that was the last time they did it.
Yep.
So one of those that I think should be at the top of the list is the J Driller.
I agree.
Late great Jay Briscoe. Mark Briscoe's been using it since he came to AEW, and I don't think anybody kicked out of it yet. I might be wrong.
Notice he said yet.
Yet. Which brings me to our Stooge, which is our esteemed heavyweight champion briefcase holder, John Moxley, because he took a J Driller, and of course he had to kick out because that was dope.
Yeah.
And pissed me off to no end. I was like, come on.
No. I wouldn't piss you off.
I mean, ordinarily, kicking out of pile drivers don't always be anyway.
Right.
Be it Tombstone, be it Destroyer, be it Butterfly, whatever. But
what was it we were watching the other day and their pile drivers were finishing moves?
Penta. The Destroyer was a finish.
Yeah, but I was watching.
Oh, ECW.
I must have been. Yeah, it had to have been ECW.
It was against Storm. Because
Yeah.
he did the pile driver.
Yep.
It
That's what it
was
was.
25 years ago, but still.
Yeah, I was like, well, what were we watching the other day where the pile driver was a finish?
But
We watched too much wrestling.
if I had to say something to Briscoe, I would say don't use the J Driller unless you know it's going to be a finish. He's got he can always go cutthroat driver if you want a near fall.
Yeah.
Which is his version of the Burning Hammer that he used to use before in Ring of Honor.
Right.
But also Moxley, if you don't want to get pinned by it, you have it be close enough where you can put a foot on the ropes or under the ropes or something to where the referee has to stop the count.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, but we're talking Moxley here. So.
I know, but I mean, of all people, Jake Roberts is in the back, and if anybody knows about protecting a finish, it's Jake Roberts. Even though his move has been wholly bastardized over the last 30 years.
Yeah, his is not anymore.
His is, but anybody else's DDT is not. Dwayne, honorable mention for Hoot is Jacob Fatu, he says.
Okay, we'll talk about it. Trust me, we'll
get to it. We will get to it. All right, so yeah, congratulations, John Moxley, for getting Stooge of the Week. He hasn't got it as often as I thought he would.
That's because other people have done stupider things. Yes, I just said stupider. There you go.
Stupid.
Still, you and Barry ever heard that in the car when we were driving?
We almost went off the road.
Oh my God. It's the funniest thing ever. All right, anyway, let's
That's why I like our long road trips to wrestling shows. We can put Corny on. And
I know. Which we've got one of those coming up in about a month.
Yes, we do.
Gotta
love that PWE.
Love PWE. Actually, I'm taking in 2 PWE shows in 2 weeks again. Because we're going to the mill.
Oh, that's right.
We're going to the mill on the 11th, and then we go again the 19th.
They're going to know you by name at the mill.
They know me by name at PWE now.
Well, yeah, you're the chick with the hair.
Yep, basically.
Is your mom ever going to dye her hair when she goes with you to these shows? I mean, it's naturally bleached already, so it doesn't. It's not going to. I say
it's naturally bleached, and I don't think she wants. I don't think she thinks it'll hold any color. Honestly, she's worried about it not holding any color.
Can we get her a Mercedes Monet wig?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It might stay on better than when Mercedes wears it.
True.
What do we got? Another month or so before y'all in?
Yeah, it's the end of July.
Okay, that's what I thought. So we'll get to that when it gets closer. We're not talking about it yet.
Please don't. Because Monet won another belt this weekend.
Yeah, I forget which one, but
I don't care. Don't care that much.
No.
Sorry. If there's Monet fans in here,
cooked steak.
Well, if there's Monet
Storm won that steak because she ran off with it.
Like I said, if there's Monet fans in here, I'm so sorry.
I'm not.
We're not fans.
I have my opinions. I've had my opinions since before she was in AEW, so I'll just keep them to myself.
Yeah, think.
All right. Well, let's get into talk about some of these pay-per-views. We have Worlds Collide first.
Is that where we're starting?
We got Against All Odds first. That was on Friday.
So let's start with Against All Odds.
All right. So we'll just do the main card. We won't talk. You already talked about the.
We already talked about the pre-match. That was the only match on the pre-show.
All right. So Steve Macklin retained the International Championship on Mance Warner.
How good was this match?
It's a friggin' house fight.
I love Macklin.
Macklin's awesome. I love Mance. You know how I feel about Mance Warner.
But Macklin's just so good.
I'm not a fan of whom, Dwayne?
Mercedes. He put that up when Mercedes was when we were talking about Mercedes.
Gotcha.
Yeah. That was just a let's beat the shit out of each other.
It was a really good tone setter.
It was.
For the show. Okay, I'm really curious to hear your opinion on this match, Minderz, because it was 8-man tag. The System taking on the Hardys, Leon Slater, who apparently is able to walk after jumping off that friggin'.
Of course he is. His face broke his fall.
That's true. And then they had a mystery partner, Minderz, the Hometown Man.
Hometown Boy.
No, Hometown Man.
It's a Hometown Man? Why did I put boy?
Because he's small.
Maybe.
But apparently he's from Tempe, finger quotes.
Yeah. Okay, so
It doesn't at all look like Cody Deaner under a hood.
well, I'm gonna say I honestly had no idea who he was. I didn't. I was like, where'd they get this
I
indie
like the
guy
music.
from? Yeah, the hometown man. I was like, what the hell? But he was over. Holy crap,
He
was
was
he
over.
over?
Well, I popped for the Phoenix Suns Charles Barkley jersey from 1993. So
I figured you would.
Hardy,
What do you?
Slater, and Hometown Man won.
No.
This is advancing Leon Slater. He pinned Moose, which is going to put him in line for an X Division title shot.
Moose slipped on a banana peel is what happened.
He kind of did.
Because freaking Slater couldn't even keep his damn pants up. So
Can we talk about how he spent
needs a
the
belt.
majority of the time in the ring adjusting his pants? He pulled up his pants in midair doing a flip.
Right?
Ridiculous. Suspenders, my friend.
A belt.
Or a belt.
Simple.
Or just looser fitting or tighter fitting pants.
Here's the thing. I don't know. Did you watch all the Tough Enoughs?
Like the old shows?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I didn't
Because
watch
there was
either.
at one point, I can't remember who it was. Might have been Ivory. She would always complain when the girls would always have to adjust their stuff. She's like, either get gear that fits or change your gear.
Because all the girls wanted to be like Lita.
Basically. And they kept trying to pull it up.
I'm not saying it's not impressive that you can pull up your pants in midair, but you shouldn't have to.
You shouldn't have to. But yeah, and one of her pet peeves.
I was expecting him to leap off the top rope and his pants to stay where they were.
Yeah, they were pretty loose. But yeah. But she was always complaining about the girls' gear, and I was like, "Do they not go by this anymore?" Apparently not.
They need a gear czar in the back to police all these things. Like they should have had one for Francine at CyberSlam 2000 when she
took her shirt off and
her boobs
really
up.
took her shirt off. Oh, that was so funny. All right.
Next
match.
This match was so good.
Really,
you know how we feel about Mustafa Ali, but
he has a soft spot in my heart because he's trained. He worked with Sabin Gage.
Yes, but this was kind of a star-making performance for Jason Hodge.
Good Lord, I didn't realize how good he was.
I've only really seen him in the Good Hands, teaming up with John Schuyler, who's the guy that was doing commentary.
Right.
But yeah, he got to shine in this match with Ali. I like the story. Apparently, they're all in a group, the Order 4, and Ali's been a little nuts, like
being a prick. Oh, maybe that was why.
Being a prickish leader, I can't imagine what that's like.
Right.
To see anywhere on TV.
I have cockiness is going to be his downfall.
Hodge or Ali?
Ali.
Okay.
Now, I was
almost was. There was a couple times I thought Hodge was going to win that match.
Oh, I did too. And I really didn't think it'd be an upset, but man, he was so close a couple times. Mm-hmm. So close.
Ali did the Van Damme when he went for the handshake and then just gave him the old whiffaroo and walked off. But yeah, I want to see more. Even if it's more tag team stuff, I want to see more of Jason Hodge.
Yeah, he was very good. I liked him a lot.
All right.
Do you have a list? Do you actually have a list of how it went? Did you actually take that good of notes?
The order of the matches?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you.
I even have it in bold of who won, so I know who won.
I have stars by their names.
All right, next up. I had a bad couple of weeks, but
that wasn't next.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
What was next?
Next was Masha and...
Oh. See, now I feel like an ass.
Ha.
Anyway.
This is why I take notes, too.
Masha Slamovich against... And I always mess up her name. Li Ying Li? That...
Yeah, that works.
The former Xia Li in NXT.
Yeah, just go former Xia Li. It's a lot easier.
I like this match. This was awesome. But,
I like this.
You know, I love my Masha Slamovich, though.
Yeah. Although I will say it kind of ruined it for me because I didn't watch this until after I watched Cage of Survival.
So you saw her with the belt.
Sorry, saw Masha still had the belt. So
Mhm.
it kind of ruined it for me, but that was my
That's-
own fault.
Maybe maybe Masha shouldn't bring the women's title belt with her to the GCW
Oh, I think
shows.
I absolutely think she should.
I'm kidding. No.
She takes it everywhere.
I for the record, also a quick aside, I thought Orso was winning that match.
Oh yeah.
Our buddy had a hand in that.
He's not our buddy anymore.
No. Sam.
Oh, yeah.
Sam's our buddy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought you meant Orso. I was like, wait, no, Orso's not our buddy anymore.
But no, Masha won, but it was a very, very hard-hitting match, which I expected.
Yeah. Well, that's what they had built that up to, and Masha had even called her out. So
Yeah.
But then we had a visitor.
Afterwards. What happened after the match, Minderz?
Killer Kelly came out.
Oh, Killer Kelly.
So I'm interested to see where this goes now, because I
Yeah,
think we might have who might take the belt off of Masha.
Maybe. I really liked them as a tag team when they did the MK Ultra stuff, when they were Knockouts tag champs.
Right, but that gives them a reason to have a beef.
Before they were a tag team, they had a hell of a feud, though, when Masha was a heel.
See?
But
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this means Myron Reed's going to come back around and hook up with the Rascals again.
Well, is he okay?
As far as I know, he's...
Have we heard any more since he took that really nasty spill?
I think he's still defending the Revolver Championship.
Okay. So he took that nasty spill.
But we're still getting hoots, Minderz. Sean says my hoot is Jacob Fatu for turning on Solo.
We're getting there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. But no, he's allowed to say if it's for a hoot. But...
Yeah, he's allowed.
All right, now we got Joe Hendry and Kazarian.
Yeah.
Joe had a rough month.
He's had a rough month. Does this mean we might eventually get a heel Joe Hendry?
Because
I feel like he needs
a sad
to change,
bastard Joe Henry.
He needs to change something up.
I hope he doesn't go emo like Jimmy Jacobs and start singing ballads.
No, I don't think he'll do that.
Do you think when he turns heel, is he going to stop wearing the white pants and go to black ones?
God, I hope so, because white pants on guys makes me nervous.
Especially if they're,
Well, it's not even so much that. It's just kind of a dead giveaway, especially if they're like, we're going to the ring and it could be a death or it's going to be a banger. And it's like, you're going to get blood all over everything. Okay.
Well, he doesn't wrestle in the white pants. That's just his outdoor attire.
Oh, I know, but still.
But yeah, Kazarian won. There was some chicanery.
Some?
I'm just devil's due.
Okay.
Let's see.
What happened?
I'll just pop out into the inning. The score's tied, though, 2-2.
Oh, okay.
No, you were on bated breath to see
I sure was. I sure was.
All right. Tag Team Championship, Minderz. The Nemeths against the Rascals.
Yep.
And sorry, I saw Barty's comment. But it seems like Nick and Ryan Nemeth are trying like hell to get Hollywood Heels over as their team name. I mean,
they're trying.
It was on their trunks and it was on their jackets, I think.
And they still call them the Nemeth.
They still keep calling them the Nemeths. Like, no, come on. You gotta work with them a little bit. Hollywood Heels is a good tag team name for heels.
Mm-hmm.
Might have to change it when they turn babyface. But
maybe that's why they're trying to keep it the Nemeths.
That's true. That's a very good point. The Nemeths retained over the Rascals.
Ryan pinned Miguel.
Ryan pinned Miguel. I don't think there was any cheatery. I think it was just a banana peel situation.
Yeah.
I think Trey missed something and Ryan capitalized. As a good heel does.
Yeah. I mean, they played good heels.
Yeah. I really like them as a team.
No, Dolph hit the zigzag, or whatever he calls it now.
The danger zone, they call it now.
Yeah, the danger zone.
I still like knick-knack.
Knick-knack. But I remember he hit that.
Yeah.
And then Ryan did his finisher or whatever.
It's like a inverted DDT or some sort, I think.
Because they knocked the other rascal out once, yeah.
They sent it back from whence he came.
Yeah, I see what you did there, aren't you, punny? All right, let's move on. Let's move on because this next match was a lot of fun.
Okay, so this is to determine the undisputed director of authority in TNA. So we had Santino Marella versus Robert Stone of NXT. Santino had Ariana Grace at ringside, and Robert Stone had Tessa Blanchard and Victoria Crawford, Alicia Fox, for those that don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And who was our referee, Minderz?
You know what? I'm actually going to be nice because AJ's going to be so mad at us. But it was Cardona. He was the ref, and he was out there in ref, like black and white striped ref trunks, and had the ref like shirt on that had the arms cut out. And he got money. He got money from Stone ahead of time.
Stone tried to pay him off but I guess he didn't pay him enough because Cardona called the match down the middle. He didn't play favorites.
He let the good lady stay out there for a little bit longer than I think he should have.
But he did admonish them though when that dastardly Tessa Blanchard stole the Cobra and ran off with it.
Thank goodness that Grace had her backup Cobra.
Yes. Which I was confused because I thought they said that the Cobra was banned.
No, it was not banned.
Because Robert Stone was on Busted Open earlier this week, and he had said something about trying to ban the Cobra. I guess it didn't go through.
He was trying to, but he didn't succeed. Here, I'm going to let you answer that one.
Alicia Fox is sort of. She's been mainly doing valet stuff in TNA.
I knew that was coming.
Whereas Cardona's valid referee license, I demand they check him for one and find it. Well, no, because he didn't cheat.
He actually did a really good job as a ref.
Santino won with the Cobra.
Yep.
Robert Stone was actually kind of dressed like Robbie E.
Yeah, it was weird.
But yeah, so now Santino is the undisputed director of authority for TNA. He got his badge back and everything.
Yep, he did get his badge back.
It was a serious Santino. He wasn't doing the power walk and the trombone business.
Nope. We still had the Cobra, but
well, yeah, that's just a devastating finish.
Right. But all in all, it was a really good match. Yeah. Like I said, Cardona did good. He called it down the middle. He didn't
allow weaponry.
No. At least not that he saw.
No. He didn't get overly physically involved in the match. Stone pushed him, and he pushed him back, but that's about as far as that went.
Oh, he did find the brass knucks in Stone's ear, though, at the beginning.
I liked how Santino just voluntarily gave up the mop handle he had hidden in the back of his singlet.
Right. Yep, here you go. Which almost made me wonder, though, if he had something like, he could have done that and had something else hidden. Like maybe he had the brass knucks or
Ariana had him.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Ariana was having some trouble keeping her top up.
Top up? Yeah, I noticed that too.
Almost had a Francine moment.
Yeah, about did.
All right, well, Minderz, let's talk main event. TNA World Championship, or I'm sorry, the Trick NA World Championship, according to the champ. Trick Williams defending against Elijah. And you forget how good Elijah is in the ring.
He's so good. He really is. But I've only got one thing to say about this match. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
It's very true. Very true.
And flop dollar, go the hell away.
Yeah.
Although I don't mind KC Navarro. I don't mind him.
Unfortunately, Mike Santana put him through a table earlier in the show, so he wasn't out there.
Yeah, he wasn't.
I told you this off before we went live. Mike Santana is going to be their guy sooner than later.
Yep. I wouldn't be surprised. What's their next pay?
Oh, he should have made it onto the top 10. I didn't put him on. Some bitch.
You want me to add? I
Adam.
added mine.
Adam.
I'll switch one out of mine.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's one with these top 10 lists. There's always some you forget about.
Am I adding both of them?
You know what? I say yes.
Okay. All right, got it.
All right. So that is Against All Odds. Very good show, I thought.
It was a very good show. And Trick still retained, which... What's their next... Isn't
Slammiversary's coming up next month.
I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get Santana and Trick again.
We might. I think he's owed a rematch.
And I would think.
You know what I think they should do? I think they should do King of the Mountain this anniversary. Get Trick against 5 challengers. I'm thinking Joe, Elijah, Santana,
Moose?
Moose. Well, no, Moose is probably going to have Slater.
Oh, that's true.
Nick is probably going to be defending the tag titles. Kazarian.
Sammy? Callahan? Hammerstone? Hammerstone!
Oh.
Hammerstone.
I'd be okay with it.
Well, you saw that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Hammerstone.
But yeah, I'd like to see them bring back King of the Mountain just to see him stack the deck against Trick, just to try to get the belt off of him. But I mean, you could always still see some NXT guys in there too, though.
I don't think you can. I don't think you should.
I don't think you should.
I don't think you should.
I could see them doing it.
If they're going to do a King of the Mountain, though, I don't think it should be NXT guys.
It should just be all TNA guys trying to get the belt off. It should be
all TNA guys trying to get their belt back. But then you got to be careful of really who all you put in there, because you don't want to bury some of your good guys. You don't, I'm a little concerned about a King of the Mountain idea, but
yeah. It's a weird concept because you have
really
to go up and you got to hang the belt up. You don't pull the belt down. You have to actually hang the belt from the thing, which always just struck me as odd. Anyway, okay. Moving on. Let's move on to Saturday, Minderz. We'll start with Worlds Collide.
Okay.
I don't have these in order, but I do have all the match results. Started off with the trios match.
Yeah.
LWO of Dragon Lee and Cruz del Toro with Lince Dorado against Octagon Jr., Aerostar, and Mr. Iguana.
It was so good to see Aerostar again.
Can we first mention, I didn't notice it because my Spanish is not so bueno these days. But apparently the gal singing the national anthem messed up something. Blue Demon looked like he was going to kill her.
Oh my goodness.
If looks could kill.
His side eye was better than Sugar's. His side eye
I wonder if we can take this and put Blue Demon's mask on.
Oh my god. Go for it. You try it.
We'll see.
You're the computer whiz on this one.
I've never been a computer whiz a day in my life, but anyway. We talked a little bit about this match because we were talking about Mr. Iguana.
Yes.
But, yeah, every fiber of my being said I should not like Mr. Iguana. Mm-hmm. But also you gotta know what you're getting into. This is a Lucha Libre show, and that's what I mean. That's what they do.
That's what they do. So, like I said, it didn't, like, all the flips and everything didn't bother me as much because I knew that was what I was watching. I knew that was what I was getting. So
I'll tell you who impressed me in this match, Minderz, was Cruz del Toro.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Cruz he was sharp.
He was.
Of course, Dragon Lee's always good, and good to see Lince Dorado back, even if it is for one night.
Yeah. Well, like you said, though, Octagon, right? Octagon Jr.
Yeah. Woo!
Woo! Then, of course, Dom had to be his dickish self and came out. And then that's when we got, at the end of that match is when we got the
pull apart.
The pull apart with him with Dom putting the belt on the line for MITV.
You know, I like that because at the original When Worlds Collide pay-per-view in 1994, their fathers were both in a tag match.
Mm-hmm. I remember.
Poppy got his head shaved.
Yep. I remember.
Oh, cool to see. Apparently, Dom took the belt to Eddie's grave also in Phoenix.
I saw that.
That was cool.
Yeah. To his dad's grave. Sorry, couldn't resist. I know. Try. Okay, got it.
All right. Second match, And I'm kind of surprised this wasn't the first match, just to give Stephanie time, but it was Stephanie Vaquero and Lola Vice against Chica Tormenta and Dalis. Very fun match. How'd you like the double head gimmick from Lola and Stephanie?
Go for it. Everybody
Was
seems
Booker
to like
T
it.
there? Did anyone check on him?
No, they checked on him. Oh, that was at NXT last week. They were like, "Are you okay, Book?" Since Steph's gone, I was like, "Oh my god, seriously." But yeah, I mean, this match was what I thought it was going to be. You and I kind of picked this. We kind of figured it was going to go 3-2. There's going to be,
Oh, the score for
yeah.
I'm not surprised Lola did most of the heavy lifting in this match. Keep
Well,
Stephanie fresh for the pay-per-view.
I would say when you were like, "Well, I'm surprised they didn't put her on." I'm like, she only did like 4 or 5 minutes worth of actual wrestling, so she's good. She's fine.
Lola looked good in that match. And that was the first time I'd seen Chica Tormenta and Dalis. So
Me too.
they're two rough and tumble veterans.
Well, Dom and Nick.
Tom and Nick.
Tom and Nick. But all right, what was next?
All right, next I believe was Legado del Fantasma versus El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr., Pagano, and Psycho Clown. Can we talk about how much we love Psycho Clown real quick?
That mask was kind of amazing.
Yeah.
I love his mask.
I've mostly ever seen Pagano in like death matches and hardcore stuff, and it showed.
Yeah.
In this match, he's not as crisp as his compatriots.
No.
Dr. El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. though.
He's so good.
He is so good, so smooth. I was really enjoying the stuff with him and Santos when they were one-on-one.
We had to call you on Saturday because Clay watched Worlds Collide with me out in at the bitch barn. We had to call you to get your.
How did that come up? Did you just say, "Hey, Rep does he does Santos"?
Well, Phantasmo, blah 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 came out, and I was like, "You should hear Rep do his Santos impression."
Gotta have a little flair to it. Santos. Escobar.
Well, I think what it was I heard it, and then I was sitting there trying to do it, and he's like, "What are you trying to do?" I said, "Reb can do it so well. We got to call him."
It's like trying to pronounce Kent Herbeck's name the proper Polish way. Kent Herbeck.
Kent Herbeck.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Oh no, that was.
Legado won.
Yeah.
Santos pinned Dr. Wagner Jr. Which I think they're changing. I think they're going to start calling him Dr. Wagner III, which does seem more efficient.
Yes.
El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. is literally the son of Dr. Wagner Jr., so Dr. Wagner Jr.
Right.
So Dr. Wagner III just it rolls off the tongue a little bit more. If you want to go the Espanol, you can go with Dr. Wagner El Tercero.
Ooh, listen to you.
I know that sounds fancy. I learned that in Barcelona.
I'm sure you did.
All right. Next up.
Do we have any Spanish, or do we have any listeners in Spain yet? You don't have to check.
Oh no, I have to check.
Oh, you have to check to see if you need to make an apology?
Yes. Also, probably ought to check, see if we have any listeners in the Middle East, just in case when we get discussing other things, that we don't take anybody off. Let's see, Spain. No.
Okay.
We are safe.
All right, let's move on.
All right, moving on. We've got the North American Championship: Ethan Page versus Javon Evans versus Laredo Kid versus Ray Phoenix.
That one was before the El Legado Fantasma.
No, that was before the main event.
Oh. Minderz Law.
I fully expected Javon Evans to win this match.
I didn't.
I am not complaining though, because I like me some Ethan Page.
I don't think it's over between them yet, but there are a few times though I don't remember which match it was we were watching. Oh, I'm sure it was the ladder match. Never mind. We'll talk about that later. There's a few times I yelled legs.
Yeah. Maybe
But,
get started on that sign for
legs.
start
For every
singing
time I go to a
ZZ
death
Top
match
top of
and
your lungs. But no, Paige, I'm glad he won. I didn't think Phoenix was going to win just because he's not in NXT.
right.
So
If any of them were going to win other than Paige,
it'd be Evans.
it would have been Evans.
Yeah.
But
Evans looked good though.
he did.
He's
But
like Leon Slater with discipline.
Tighter pants.
Tighter pants. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't hate seeing John Evans against Leon Slater.
Nah, that probably
As long as they get Leon some tighter pants.
that'd be bouncy. That'd be
That
real
would
bouncy.
be bouncy. So bouncy.
So
Bouncy.
Clay got to see Javon Evans for the first time this weekend.
And his thoughts?
Holy crap. He was very impressed with him. He did not realize how high he could get. He did not realize the type of, just the jump, the
He has hover pants.
athleticism. Yeah. He bouncy.
Yeah, he bouncy. Bouncy. All right. And then we talked about the main event, Vikingo and Gable,
So
during the Hoots and
good.
Judy segment.
So good. If you get a chance, go back and watch it. It's on YouTube. It's
It
free.
yeah, it's true.
Go back and watch it.
This was good because it showed that Vikingo is capable of more than just flying around.
Yeah.
You got to see the guy wrestle.
And he did some flying around,
He
but
did.
it wasn't obnoxious.
That 630 to the floor almost gave Corey a stroke.
Yeah, no kidding.
Conan did not sound surprised, though.
Would you?
Are you making a prediction, or is it
He's making a prediction.
Okay. Predictions are okay. Spoilers
Predictions
are not.
okay. No spoilers.
All right. And then, so that was everything with Worlds Collide. They did that was one of the better shows. And I like when they put shows on YouTube.
I do too.
But
Made
yeah,
it nice.
yeah, so that carries up into Money in the Bank. We talked
Which
about
I totally dropped the ball on and had to go back and rewatch the women's match. And then I kind of didn't really watch it. I didn't watch it. I saw the end. So
the fans were fashionably late on this one. From what I understand, it was not their fault because all the shit going on in LA. I guess it was hard to get through the roads and all that to get to the show. But
well, they had to go. They had to go a mile and a half to get to the other building.
Well, if you went from one show to, but the people that didn't go to the Worlds Collide show going to So by the middle of the show, they were packed. It was good.
Yeah, it was sold out.
Yeah, it was sold out. But yeah, just the first couple matches, it was about half full.
Yeah.
And of course, the trolls on the internet were all over. It's like, oh, look, they said they're sold out, but there's nobody there. It's like, yeah, there's a fucking riot going on in Los Angeles, and they can't drive through it. Jackasses. And I say riot somewhat loosely. I'm just saying.
Yeah, not an actual riot, just lots of people, lots and lots of people all at the same place at the same time.
All the information got orange washed, but that's neither here nor there. Anyway, Money in the Bank.
Money in the Bank.
All right, kicks off with the women, as they usually do.
Yes.
Great tone setter on this one. Naomi versus Rhea Ripley versus Julia versus Roxanne Perez versus Alexa Bliss versus Stephanie Baker. Stephanie in different gear, which I figured she'd just go from one show to the next in her gear. But
no, she'd have to make a statement.
I think first off, I was right. I picked Naomi.
We were both right.
But I think we were both disappointed
because I had two scenarios.
Yes, I didn't do that. I just picked one.
I had two scenarios.
You had two scenarios. Yeah. Although if it wasn't Naomi, I wanted it to be Roxy.
Mm-hmm. Well, those were my two.
Mm-hmm. I stuck with Naomi, but yeah, Roxy, I would not have complained. I wouldn't complain about any of them, to be honest with you.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have complained about any of them. But I thought it was still too soon for Julia and for Stephanie.
Mm-hmm. Rhea
doesn't need it.
Alexa just came back.
Yeah.
Naomi's the one that really needed it the most, I think.
She needs it right now. Oh, she made Biggie cry at the post show.
Damn it, what a heel.
Well, no, like not in that way.
No, I know.
Actually, he made her cry, and he got teary
No.
too.
Big E needs to know. Don't make the heels cry.
Well, it was more of a he'd known her for 15 years, and she finally got something she deserved, and blah blah blah. I was like, oh boy, yeah, because I actually sat and watched the post show, all of the post show.
Was it more entertaining than an AEW post show?
No, I think AEW is more entertaining just because I'm waiting for the stupid thing to happen.
We got another listener here,
Hi,
Noah,
Noah.
watching on YouTube. We'll see him Punk beat John Cena. We're going to get to that when we get to Raw, but if I had to guess, I would say no. Not yet.
I think it's gonna be Seth fuckery, but power.
We'll get to it when we get to our Raw discussion here, but
We'll get our whiteboard out and and Rob and I each have a different one, so we gotta refollow our tracks whenever we go back. Okay.
all right.
So wait, Naomi won.
Naomi
Money
won.
in the Bank.
Very good performance. I usually don't care for ladder matches, but this one was actually pretty good.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was what it needed to be. So.
Next match was Dom and Octagon Jr.
Yes, I thought that was really good, and I thought Octagon had him there a couple times. I was hoping.
It was a very good match, and they're trolls on the internet saying, "Oh, they buried Octagon Jr." They gave him a fucking pay-per-view match for a title after they put him over huge on the AAA show.
Right.
And not for nothing, he did go to the back, and apparently he tearfully thanked everybody for having him. So, so if anybody's going to be upset about it, it'd be Octagon Jr.
If he thought he was buried, but
if he thought he was buried.
Again, I
don't think people know what the word bury means in wrestling.
Right. Like, that's not being buried.
Nobody gets buried because they're all getting TV time.
Right.
People said that Jey Uso got buried. I'm not discussing for later, but we'll get to that when it happens. But
okay.
All right, Becky Lynch versus Lyra. I liked this way more than I thought I would.
See, and I didn't.
Well, I know how you feel about Lyra, though.
Well, it wasn't even so much that.
I was more entertained by the after the match.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
For the record, I did not see a pull at the tights. There was not a sufficient camera angle to see it.
You are correct. You are correct.
As I usually am, but go on.
Oh, jeez.
I liked so Lyra fulfilled her stipulation by raising Becky's hand, which she only really had to do once.
But Becky made it a big deal.
Becky insisted on making a production
out of it. Had
to
go to every side.
As soon as she asked Lyra to put the belt around her waist, that's when I was okay. She's going to do something to her.
She has to at this point. She's
Otherwise, she completely. Despite what I just said, she buried herself, but she didn't.
Then you're buried. That is being buried.
But no, she took a German suplex and a Nightwing while wearing the belt, which really says something about the Velcro that they use on the strap.
I was going to say that was impressive. So Becky is our new Intercontinental Champion.
She's just a Women's North American and U.S. Championship away from the Ladies Grand Slam.
Yep.
All right. Next match was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Seth Rollins versus Penta versus El Grande Americano versus Andrade versus LA Knight versus Solo Sikoa. And a quick aside here, and AJ will pop for this. Why didn't Penta interfere in the Octagon match?
I don't know.
If you want long-term storytelling,
right?
Or vice versa, Octagon come out and interfere with Penta.
Right.
Now we wait for the comment.
Yeah, now we wait for AJ to put his comment up.
Very good match.
It was.
They saved the fuckery for when it mattered.
Yes.
Breaker speared the crap out of El Grande.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The poor Andrade. The poor guy took got his ass kicked a lot during this match. A lot.
I don't usually make these comments, but Andrade deserves better. He's so good.
But he's just not
You know what?
over.
Honestly, what I think they need to do with Andrade? NXT.
He did great in NXT when he was in NXT.
Awesome in NXT.
Yep.
Put him against Oba. You'll have a hell of a match.
That'd be really good.
Or
Not quite teasing me with a good time, because the teasing me with a good time was
Andrade and Ethan, North American Championship.
There you go. That's better. I like that one better.
And it's not because of a size thing, because Andrade is a big enough guy, but it feels like he'd be able to do more in NXT.
Yeah.
Send him to TNA.
Yeah.
For something. Have him against Moose.
I was going to say, put him against Moose. Because you can't really put him against...
Are you teased with a good time yet, Minderz?
Yes, now I am teased. No, I think the funnier part was when we were talking about... Who are we talking about from TNA?
A lot of people.
Hotch. No, we were talking about Hotch.
Yeah.
And I kept messaging you, and I was like, Hotch and Camaro.
Andrade and Ali.
Oh. Have we seen that?
I don't remember. Because I know we got Andrade and Cedric, didn't we?
Uh-huh.
So we might have gotten Ali, but not this Ali.
We might have gotten Ali, but not this Ali. So maybe.
But no, yeah, we were talking about Hotch. We were putting him over.
Yeah, we were talking about Hotch, and we had put him with, like, Camaro. Who did you said Carrot, didn't you?
I said Carrot.
Yeah, you said Carrot, which is funny that you said Carrot. I said Camaro.
One of us said Gary J.
I said Gary J.
I said Macklin and Gary J.
Yeah. Macklin and Gary J. Yep. Because of the chops.
Right.
All right, let's focus back on Money in the Bank. Yeah,
okay.
Back to Money in the Bank.
So Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker come out and help Rollins go through everybody.
Which expected.
So then the Bloodline came out, Mateo and Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
They start wrecking everybody. Then Fatu helps Solo get up on the ladder.
Yep.
And then what happened, Minderz?
Fatu grabbed his ankle and started to pull and said, I hate you.
But before that, is the thing that popped me was just when you got the slow burn. Before he even grabbed Solo, he just looked up at him. There we go.
Yeah. Well, I think I even messaged you at the first look up, and I was like, oh, I smell a heel turn. Or I smell a turn. I smell a turn. And then I think by the time you looked at it, it already happened. I was like, yeah.
If this gets me Fatu versus Mateo.
Yeah. Yes, please. Yes, please. I still want to see Fatu, though, and Breaker.
I think that's going to come eventually.
I hope it does.
What do we see what happens with the draft?
Mm-hmm.
Because maybe you'll get to be where Breaker challenges Fatu.
They're not going to break those groups up, though.
No, but they might move Rollins' group over to SmackDown.
I don't think so. I think they'll stay on Raw.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Anyway,
I could see them splitting with the Bloodline, though. Maybe move Fatu to Raw and keep Cobb and Solo on SmackDown.
Yeah, I could see Fatu going to Raw. Yes, I could see that. Right. But then, do you have to change? If you do that, you'd have to switch.
The titles.
Yeah.
Gotta move. Shit. Who's the IC champ right now?
That's what I was just trying to think.
Dom Mysterio.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Dirty Dom.
It's Sucio with the Dirty Sanchez.
Mm-hmm.
And he got to move him and all of his ladies over.
No,
he is the gynecologist of professional wrestling, as you know.
He kind of is. He's living out every man's dream right now.
How do you say El Pusshound in Spanish?
I say he's dating Liv. He's married. His ex is Rhea Ripley, and his side chick is Roxy.
And then he's got the wife at home.
Yeah, I said that. I said he's married.
Yeah. I saw something, I forget where, but they outlined like her rules for Dom on the road, like with Liv, like during appearances. So he's following orders. So he's not.
Well, they never kiss.
No,
they never kiss.
No,
Maybe kiss on the cheek, maybe, but never.
It's usually the Eskimo kisses, like the nose.
Right, the nose rubs,
But-
yeah.
But then I guess she insists he always have his wedding ring on TV.
Well, that's fine.
This is fine, you know.
Yeah, that's
It makes him seem more of a sleazeball if he's married and he's got all these chicks around.
exactly. So it works. It's fine.
I'm surprised she hasn't put her foot down about the mustache.
Dear God, please do.
The stash has to go.
Stash.
But
No,
if
he
he
can't.
if he loses the stash, he looks like a baby again.
I was gonna say he can't get rid of the stash until he turns babyface.
And you
again,
can't
if
lose
he
the
ever
mullet
does.
if you keep the stash. Otherwise, you
Right.
look like Peter Avalon.
Yeah. No.
Anyway, just finishing up this match here. I'm surprised we didn't get a Punk run in or a Sammy run
I
in.
was too. That was the one thing I was waiting on.
But I didn't think if they did, it was going to do anything to keep Seth from the briefcase, because
No.
we both figured Seth was going to win. Especially
Once-
with your logic, after Naomi won, it was
After
going to be a Raw
Naomi won,
person.
I knew Seth was winning. Which is crazy that I have my logic just automatically took me there. But
Can we put over Wade Barrett's journalistic integrity?
God, I love him.
When
I love him
discussing,
as a commentator. I
When
really
he
do.
shut down Michael Cole at every turn on
Oh,
the
he sure
Gable
did.
Grande stuff,
It was
to
great.
the point where he said that their nipples were different.
Yes.
Now I just picture Barrett with like a tape measure in the back measuring circumference.
No.
And then he says like,
Sean has predictions.
oh, let's see. Roxanne is not winning Queen of the Ring, and Liv is going to dump him.
We'll see.
We'll have to see on that.
We'll have to see.
I haven't got that on my whiteboard yet.
Yeah, that's not on my whiteboard either. Well-
and we're not doing whiteboards next week, Minderz.
No. Wonder why. Sandman!
All right, but yeah, so Seth won the briefcase. No big surprise there.
I figured it would, just because that was going to push that story further. So
Yeah.
Although, all right. Well, we got
we still
one
got
more
a main
match.
event to talk about here.
Yep, we still got a match.
All right, so we got our tag match: Cody and Uso against Cena and Logan Paul. Logan doing more drone falconry.
Yeah, well, did that work out?
I'll tell you, I'm impressed they didn't break the drone with that superplex.
They broke it when Jay landed on it.
Did Jay land on it?
He did.
Oh,
When Paul did the
after the
move
superplex,
off,
and then
yeah,
when all you saw was Jay's like lower.
Jay's like head
torso.
all of a sudden. Yeah, no, that was when he broke it. That was when he smashed
Okay.
it.
I hope that didn't come out of his paycheck. I hope that
Paul
didn't mean he
probably
got
paid
punished
for
the
it.
next night.
Paul
You broke
probably
my drone, you son of a bitch.
Paul probably paid for it.
That's
He's
probably
got
his
the money
personal
to do it.
drone.
Probably. He'll get another one. He's fine.
I liked the back and forth with Cena and Logan when they were bickering.
I did too. That was good.
And Cena had to get back on. Then Cena was one that reacted when he saw Uso getting close to the tag, and then he's like, "No." It's like, okay, that's good stuff.
Yeah, the storytelling in that was actually. This is why I hate to admit it, but Logan Paul is actually really good.
If he wasn't such a prick.
But that's why you hate him.
Yeah, but you don't hate him
that's
for the
whole
talent.
idea. That's the whole thing, though. Yeah, but that he's using all of that you hate about him as his character.
Mm-hmm. It's like Tully Blanchard. Tully was really good in the ring, but he was such an asshole on promos that you couldn't like him.
Right.
I mean, Tully wasn't as athletic as Logan Paul, obviously.
Well,
He wasn't doing frog splashes and whatnots.
whatnots.
Shut up.
Yeah, I can't think of what the name of his finisher is right now.
It's the pulverizer,
Oh, yeah, the pulverizer.
which is a really good name for a finish.
It really is. Damn it.
I know. Let's talk about the finish, because Cena did his usual finish of nut shot and belt shot.
Jay, we're not even talking about this yet, Sean.
We'll get there.
We're there. We're just
We're-
about there.
We're one day away from Raw.
We're one day away. We're on
We're
Saturday.
getting there.
We're at
We
the end
got
of
you.
Saturday. We got you.
Okay, so
What the hell was that face?
I was trying to figure out what I was doing here.
I mean,
All right. So anyway,
Why the hell did Jay get beat up all freaking weekend, though?
Jay Uso?
Yeah.
Because of last night.
Well, he got beat up all freaking weekend. Because he took in my opinion, he took all the beating Saturday night.
I think it was by design.
They just be wore out.
He goes into the title match exhausted.
Well, makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. Why is the referee calling a 20-second timeout? This is baseball. I'm sorry, he's doing weird stuff with his hands. Anyway, the finish. After the nut shot and the belt shot, what happened, Minderz? What's up?
My hoot came out.
Our hoot.
Our hoot came out. Our hoot. I popped like a little girl. Dwayne, I know you and I will never agree on this. Never. But we'll never agree.
I think Wade Barrett popped me he had one of my favorite lines that wasn't nipple related. When truth comes out and Cole's like, I thought he left the company, and Wade says, maybe they didn't tell him.
I forgot about that.
Which, I mean, it was fair to think about on Saturday. After last night, not so much.
Right. But on Saturday,
right.
Yeah.
So Truth belted Cena. He shit canned out, and then Cody pinned him.
Yep.
Crowd rejoiced.
I was so excited. I was like, who is this? And then I kept looking like.
As soon as I saw the shirt right up a little bit, and I saw the ad, like, oh shit, that's Truth.
That's Truth. And I just like.
And now everybody's asking: was it all work? Or was it a shoot?
Where's Gary?
You know what? You want to know what I think?
Huh?
I don't care.
I don't either.
I don't want to know.
You know what? Here's the thing.
Suspend your disbelief, people.
If it's not a work,
they did it.
Props to Triple H and the crew. Props to Triple H and the crew.
If it was a work.
Props to Triple H and the crew. Right, exactly. Because actually, I don't know if you caught. You said you didn't watch any of the after show, right? Because one of the questions they asked Triple H was it a work or was it a shoot? Basically saying, not in those words, but
I did see this. I saw this clip.
And he looked at the guy. I forget who it was that asked the question, but he goes, "Are you enjoying the show?" And they said, "Yes, very much so." He says, "Enjoy the show." And that was all he said about it.
That's all he has to do.
That's the way he said. That's the way he said it. That's what. And I was like,
if they would have asked Paul Bosch or Bill Watts that back in the 80s, that's what they would have said.
Yeah. Are you enjoying the show?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's all you need to know. And I was like,
that's all they need to know.
Yep.
Nobody needs to know all of this shit. The internet is just a visual diuretic of information.
Sometimes it's very diuretic.
I see my cat in the shadows. Did she get out? Okay. Sometimes she's a flight risk. So, thoughts on Money in the Bank overall, the pay-per-view?
I thought it was good.
So did I.
There wasn't anything. I mean, it wasn't.
It wasn't WrestleMania.
Yeah, it wasn't WrestleMania.
Well, I mean, the Royal WrestleMania, not
right. It wasn't like. Oh, sorry, Dwayne. I was
all
wrong.
Part of the show, but yeah, same thing. That's all he has to say.
That's all he has to say.
Just kayfabe, people.
Like I said, kayfabe's hard to do nowadays.
What?
It really is. Kayfabe is hard nowadays. There's too many.
Seems like they got it pretty well figured out. Though.
They're doing a real good job.
As long as they keep the Rock's trap shut on Twitter.
Yeah, no shit. Huh?
8 out of 10.
Okay, gotcha.
That's not that's not a bad score.
Nah, I mean that's probably close to where mine would be.
We didn't do side eyes and Lithgows, but I'll ask you where you rate the show in side eyes. So remember, the more side eyes, the worse the show.
I probably would give it 1. I didn't really. There wasn't anything that I was overly annoyed with. I thought it was all. She looks like she's sitting on your shoulder.
She would be furious right now if she saw this.
Oh yeah, she would.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to give it one sad let's go.
Yeah. How was it? Dickie kept doing last week.
I don't know how many Weezers he would.
Yeah, I don't know how many. He'd probably do about the same. I don't think he would have hated it.
Probably, yeah. Okay, out of those 3 pay-per-views, Minderz, which one do you think was the best one?
That's kind of tough because
It's kind of a.
the reason I say that's tough is because it all really depends on what you're into.
Definitely, yeah.
Because obviously, if you're into lucha, then AAA is going to be your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Worlds Collide is going to be your favorite. And then the other 2 had a nice mix of everything. That you kind of got a little bit of everything on all of them. You know what? I think I might actually go with Against All Odds. Though was probably my favorite.
I am inclined to agree with you on that one.
But it's really, really close for Money in the Bank and Against All Odds. It's really close. Did you quit watching your baseball game?
Well, right now it's buffering. I'm trying to figure out what I did. Well, before we get into Raw, why don't we pay some bills real quick?
Yeah, let's pay some bills real quick.
All right, we are back, and we got to get into Raw here, Minderz, because they kicked off the King of the Ring tournament and the Queen of the Ring tournament, both of them.
Do you have each of the You said you. I thought, yeah, the brackets.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. That'll help me figure out who I think's going to win this. So.
Okay. All right. First thing we got to talk about, though, we're going to talk about the open of the show with Cena and Punk. To those that know, it got juicy.
It got real juicy. It got real juicy.
Now, did they make that match official for?
Yes, it is official. It is official for Night of Champions.
So it's a matter of time before the sanctimonious blowhards on the internet start calling Punk a hypocrite. Yep.
Give it time.
Well, no, they kind of do anyway. But here's my take on that. You know who else said they would never go to Saudi Arabia?
Cena?
Sami Zayn.
He did.
Because he would have been killed.
Right.
But he can go. He goes over there every time now.
Yep.
So Punk isn't allowed to change his mind, or
Well, here's
a big boy.
I think the $1 Million Man said it best. Everybody has their price.
That's true. I mean, they make good money doing those Night of Champions shows.
They do.
Even if they don't actually sell tickets to the shows. I mean, the Prince or Raja or Sheikh I still don't know what the leader of Saudi Arabia is called. I think the Crown Prince, maybe.
Yeah.
That sounds the most right. So we'll go with Prince.
We'll go Prince.
But he ponies up some big shekels for WWE and UFC, for that matter, to come over there.
Right. And now with UFC and WWE being under the same group. Yeah. I mean, come on.
I am surprised. I thought they would save this for SummerSlam.
I kind of did too.
But that just makes me wonder.
Maybe we'll get it at SummerSlam though.
There could be a rematch. I think there could be a 4-way.
Okay.
But I hope not. Because what I also think they could do, if they decide to, they could go Cena versus Killings at SummerSlam.
I hate you sometimes.
Am I teasing you with a good time, Minderz?
You damn straight are.
Okay. All right. So anyway, we had that happen. We had Becky come out and demand an apology from Lyra for beating her up and dislocating her shoulder by raising her hand too hard.
Yeah. Did you hear about that in the after show too?
What?
Apparently, Becky's daughter cried.
Yes.
Cried because of what Lyra did.
She's also cheering for Naomi.
Yep, she sure was. And the disrespect because people didn't stand up when Becky walked into the room.
Nah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she was on a kick. She was on a kick after the show.
So I'm a little confused, and here's why.
All right.
So Becky's out there on Raw. She's demanding Lyra come out for an apology. Lyra comes out with angry face, and she's marching out. Shoulders are hunched over. She's going to kick some butt. So then we get Bayley, which we kind of all expected it.
Well, we thought it was going to happen. Money in the Bank. We thought it was going to happen.
Well, we knew it was coming.
Yeah, we knew it was coming.
So Bayley comes in, and as she's whooping the crap out of Bayley or Becky, then you show Lyra on the floor. She's looking perplexed and concerned almost.
Yeah. Honey.
So, I don't know what's the plan here. Is it she didn't know Bayley was coming back and she's leapfrogging her to get a shot at the belt or something?
Could be. Maybe she was perplexed that didn't understand. Yeah.
That's what I keep coming back to, is that she didn't think Bayley would try to leapfrog her spot in the title hunt.
Right. So that means we have babyface Bayley and we have babyface Lyra.
Which we had before WrestleMania.
Right. But
I don't see Lyra turning heel, though.
I don't either. But why bring Bayley back babyface?
To feud with Becky, because Becky took her out.
Well, okay.
Now, do they use this to move Lyra up? Maybe put her up against Io?
If she wins against Io, I'm going to have a problem.
I don't think she'll win against Io, but move her up the ladder a little bit. I think she's earned it.
Okay. She better not win.
I don't think she'll win.
Okay. I'm trusting you on this.
All right. If Lyra beats Io for the Women's World Championship, I will dye my beard.
No. Either that or you have to wear what I got you from Florida.
Now, I still don't know what you got me from Florida, so I'm concerned.
I know.
Is it something emasculating?
No.
Is it ridiculous?
I wouldn't do that to you, huh?
I just want a little foothold of. Am I going to find out what it is on Sunday?
Yes, I will bring it Sunday.
Okay.
I will bring everybody's gifts on Sunday.
Okay. It's like Christmas.
It's like Christmas all over again.
Bucky's Christmas.
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, we kind of talked about Truth's promo on the table.
So good.
So good.
You get a chance, go back and watch that. So good.
You should. It is on YouTube. Now we get
Cut his hair off.
Yeah.
We can talk about the women's Queen of the Ring.
Well, we're going to get to the tournaments now. So
okay.
So it started off, and I don't know which one I have on top of which because they're kind of okay. I got figured out. So we'll start with the Queen of the Ring because that was the first tournament match we had. So here's our bracket, and the match we had was Rhea
Can you take
versus.
down our little corner?
Oh
thing?
yeah. Because
you're blocking. Oh God! Put
Sorry.
it back up. Put it back up.
Oh no, be nice. All right, so we had Rhea versus Kyrie versus Liv versus Roxy last night in the first tournament match.
Mm-hmm.
Very good match.
It was. I was actually down. I had two picked to win.
I had Roxy from the jump.
Well, I had Roxy as my main one, with my second one being Kyrie.
You thought maybe Liv and Roxy might cancel each other out?
I knew there was a possibility. But I really thought Roxy was gonna win.
Yeah.
So.
Well, as you can see, Roxy won, so she moved on to the quarterfinals or semifinals, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
So here's what we have coming up in the tournament. So the other Raw match is Ivy Nile versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Stephanie Vaquer versus Asuka, who's coming back. And not for nothing, I will take Asuka and Vaquer every day.
Right.
Give me that match, 1-on-1.
Right. Well, I'm sure we'll get it.
I got a feeling that in this match, because Raquel screwed Rhea last night,
Right.
so I would imagine Rhea's going to return the favor and
Exactly.
screw Raquel. So cancel her out. I don't see Ivy winning.
I was going to go with Asuka.
I'm thinking Stephanie on this
You're
one.
thinking Stephanie?
I think she'll move on.
Well, the only reason I say Asuka is because it's her comeback.
I don't think she'll win, but I don't think she'll be the one to get beat. I think Stephanie will beat Ivy.
Yeah, that's why you put Ivy in any of these matches, so she can take the pin.
Well, because Zoe's not there right now.
Yeah.
I hate to laugh, but
it's the truth.
It's a terrible situation. But yeah,
it really is.
That was Zoe's spot. All right, the SmackDown matches. The first one, we got Jade Cargill versus Michin versus Piper Niven versus Nia Jax. Nia's the incumbent Queen of the Ring at the moment. Jade, I don't think is going to do it. I think Naomi's going to do something to screw her over.
Yeah.
I kind of think maybe it's going to be Nia. I think it's going to be Mia Yim.
Oh, Mia Yim. I wondered about that.
Piper's still an underling, for lack of a better term, with Chelsea.
Right.
Nia's struggling. I don't think she needs it. I can see. Plus, then we get Michin against Roxy.
Yeah, I was trying to decide which one of those I would prefer.
I think it's Michin against Roxanne is the one that I would be most into.
Yeah. Because I don't think it's going to be Jade.
No. So I think Naomi's going to do something to Jade during that match, interfere.
Well, and I almost wonder if Jax and Cargill won't erase each other out.
Maybe. I had another thought just now. What if it is Piper? Because Chelsea's in the other match.
I know. I just saw that.
So maybe we get Roxy against Piper, and then Chelsea wins her match against Charlotte, Alexa, and Candice LeRae. And then it comes down to semifinals with Roxy and Piper, and then Jade or Chelsea and Stephanie.
Yeah. But then Chelsea beats Stephanie?
I think Stephanie beats Chelsea. I think Stephanie goes to the finals.
Well, I do too. Well, let's see.
And then
Perez beats Piper.
Perez beats Piper. I think that there's interference in both of those where each one can't messes up the other's chances.
Yeah.
Maybe Chelsea tries to interfere and trips Piper or something, and then Piper does something to screw up Chelsea's shot in the other match.
I can see that.
Maybe some bickering.
And Sean, what if it is Jade? It could be Jade, but we just don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, I don't
There's too much to do with the story with Naomi and
Bianca.
Yeah,
she's still got business.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and unlike some other companies we know, they actually finish their business on WWE. Most of the time.
Yeah. So, then if I had to guess, I would say it's going to be Roxy and Stephanie in the finals.
The only thing, I think you're right with it's going to be Chelsea. Because I keep looking at that, and I think Bliss and Flair is going to kind of... The only other thing would be if Bliss pins Flair.
Because they're starting their thing.
They're starting their own little thing.
Alexa and Stephanie would be an interesting match.
Yeah, it would be.
Maybe Piper wins, and then in the quarterfinal match, she does something to screw up Chelsea's shot.
Could be.
To get her out.
Well, let's just say but we could go with Perez. All right, I'm gonna make. Yep. put the bracket back up. I'm gonna make my picks. I'm gonna make all my picks. Perez, Michin, Alexa, and Stephanie.
Okay.
Then Stephanie beats Alexa. Perez. No, I'm gonna go with Michin beating Perez.
Oh, interesting.
And that would be Michin and Stephanie in the final with Stephanie winning.
Okay. It'd be interesting for Stephanie to be that new and getting that big of a rope. Because I think you get a title shot if you win the tournament, right?
But part of my logic behind that, though, is that last year the women's winner was on SmackDown. Nia was on SmackDown.
Okay.
So this year it needs to be Raw. And I think it needs to be Stephanie.
She got a lot of heat. She got a lot of juice going right now.
She does.
Okay, I agree with that. I'm okay with that if Stephanie wins. Are you making notes of our picks in this tournament? So
I can. Hold on.
please do, because I want to go back to this after the tournament's over, see how close we were.
Okay, so my picks. So we already know Roxy. So we have Roxy, and then I said Michin, Alexa, Stephanie. And then I say Michin.
Is there a cat on the field?
And Steph. What the hell? Okay, I've got Steph winning the whole thing. Okay, so what are your picks now? I know we obviously have Roxy.
So I've got Roxy over Piper.
Okay, so Roxy then Piper.
Mm-hmm. Then I got Stephanie, and I'll go Chelsea. I'll stick with my original idea.
Okay, Chelsea and Stephanie.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then Stephanie over Roxy.
Okay. We basically get to the same place. It's just different matchups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's look at the fellas. All right. So
no one else saw that. I'm glad you're the only one that saw that.
What?
Me flipping over. I've got the legal pad out.
Oh. All right. So last night, Sammy won his quarterfinal match with Penta, Breaker, and Mysterio, which was almost a WrestleMania rematch.
It surprised me a little bit.
After the end of the show, it didn't. But we'll get to that here in a minute.
Right.
All right. So the other Raw match is Sheamus versus Rusev versus Bronson Reed versus a mystery opponent.
Which here's the problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know who the mystery opponent is.
I think I know. Now, a lot of people are saying it's going to be Killings.
It could be.
I don't think so, because I don't.
It could be.
I don't think it will be.
Okay.
Who do you think it's going to be?
Ilya.
Me too. Because I read something this morning that he's going to be back next week.
See, it's not even that. It's
not even an official report, but he should be close.
He should be real close because he's been training since what, March?
Something like that. And physically, he is much smaller than these three, but mentally, he's a big monster, just like the rest of them.
Ilya and Walter, when Gunther was Walter, Ilya and Gunther were.
They need to stop screwing Jade over in these big matches.
No.
I think they're fine.
It's fine.
Okay, so I'm just going to assume it's Ilya here.
Okay,
I'm picking Ilya.
Oh, I'm picking Ilya. Okay, if it's Ilya, that's the.
If it's Ilya, if it's anybody else in this match, I'm saying I would go Rusev. Wait, no, Sheamus.
Okay, is that your final answer?
I'm going Sheamus unless Ilya is the fourth guy. Then I say Ilya.
Okay, Sheamus, Ilya.
Be an international flair. You got Irish, Australian, Bulgarian, and Russian.
I noticed that.
Yeah. All right. So the SmackDown side here. First match.
Oh wait, I got to make my pick. Hold on.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna go. You'll go Sheamus. I'm gonna go Rusev.
Okay. But again, if Ilya's in.
If it's Ilya, yeah. If Ilya's there though, I'm going Ilya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now we got the SmackDown matches here. First up, Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus, I almost said Jack Black. Malachi Black versus Carmelo Hayes.
He's Alistair again.
Force a habit. I think I was going to say LA Knight, but again, I think he's got a receipt coming after last night.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe not Knight. Not. I don't think it's going to be Orton because he was in the finals last year. I'm going to call a dark horse. I'm going to say Carmelo.
You're a jackass.
What, did I take your pick?
You did. Okay, so you're going to go Mello. You know what? I'm going to go Black.
Well, once you do, you never go back.
Shut.
I'm sorry.
You know what, though? No, you know what? I'm not doing that. I'm going to go Mello.
You got to stick with Mello. He's on a roll. He won the Battle Royal.
Well, here's my thought, though. You need your good guy versus your bad guy.
True. And Mello and Zayn's going to be a pretty good match.
Yeah.
But pretty good. I think it'll be damn good.
Yeah, right?
All right. The other match. Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Andrade, Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, the obvious answer is Cody.
But is it too obvious?
I wonder if it's too obvious.
I mean, look.
If he wins the tournament, he gets seen at SummerSlam, which is a logical route to take there. But if he does advance, does he get eliminated in the semifinals?
Wait, but if he doesn't advance, or if he doesn't win, or if he wins, I thought we wanted Killings and Cena at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want Cody to go to SummerSlam unless Cena defends the belt both nights.
I doubt that.
I don't think that'll happen. They'll do one on each one.
But it'll be one or the other.
Right. So if I had to pick, and like I said, if I have Cody win this, that means I've got Cody against Ilya.
Mm-hmm.
And I really want Ilya to beat Cody. But I'm worried that Cody's bulletproof.
Mm-hmm.
So either Cody wins this first match, or he's not involved in the decision.
I'm going back and forth between two of them right now.
Me too.
In my head. If
it's the same two, I'm gonna laugh.
Oh, I'm thinking it probably is, honestly. I'll let you go first, so that way you can't say that I take
I'm gonna say Nakamura. I did it again, didn't I?
You're a jackass.
I promise I'm not looking at your notes.
Oh, I know you're not, because I don't have notes for this. So you want Nakamura?
Yeah. So then we get either Nakamura against Sheamus or Nakamura against Ilya in my bracket.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean, this technically is a spoiler, but I'll allow it because it doesn't say any results of anything.
Right. So Blake Monroe.
Blake Monroe is Mariah May's new name.
Okay. Still going to be Mariah May. Okay.
I can see where they got Monroe, though.
Yeah.
Probably I see where they got Blake, too.
But okay. So you're going with Nakamura.
I'm going Nakamura.
I'm curious because you said you were picking between two.
Andrade.
Huh?
I was torn between Nakamura and Cody.
Oh, no. That wasn't the two I was.
Oh,
I don't think Cody's going to win.
No, I don't think so either.
No, I don't think Cody's going to win his match.
No. I don't think Cody's involved in the decision. I think Nakamura beats Andrade. Which I hate saying because I love Andrade.
You know what? And I'm going Andrade. And I say Andrade beats Nakamura.
All right. So it's going to be one of these two guys, basically.
Yep. That's what we're... Now watch. Priest will come in there and show us all up.
Yeah, maybe. So then that would leave on my bracket Sammy against Mello, Nakamura against Sheamus
or Ilya. Yeah.
Regardless, whoever wins the Raw bracket wins this one. Wait, no.
It's gonna be SmackDown.
If it's Sheamus, Nakamura wins. If it's Ilya, Ilya wins.
See, that's where we get into a problem. So I'll put Sheamus / Ilya over Naka. Zayn or Mello?
No. I got Nakamura over Sheamus or Ilya over Nakamura.
Right.
Right.
But then you have Zayn and Mello. Who goes there?
It's in Saudi. You got to go Sammy.
Okay.
Which bothers me because then I got all Raw on both sides.
Yep.
Which I don't care for, but
Bright side to that, SmackDown won last year.
it's true.
Xavier was on SmackDown.
So if it's...
So who do you think? You have your option of Sammy, Sheamus, or Ilya.
I'm not picking this as a hometown pop thing. I'm going to say Sammy.
Okay.
To go on to SummerSlam against Gunther.
Makes sense. That makes sense. I get it.
And then I have more. So
can I finish mine?
Please do.
Can you put those back up so I can see who I'm picking from?
I'm sorry. Don't yell at me.
All right. So we got Sammy and Mello for me on the one side. And I have Andrade and Rusev / Ilya on the other side. So I'm going to go Mello beating Sammy.
Okay.
And I'm going to go Rusev beating Andrade or Ilya.
Okay.
And then I'm going to go Rusev / Ilya winning.
Wait, so you got Rusev over Andrade.
Yes.
Or Ilya over Andrade.
Correct.
Okay.
But regardless, I think our mystery person's going to be the new King of the Ring.
Okay, so you got Ilya going.
I have Ilya if it's Ilya.
Hypothetical Ilya.
Yeah, hypothetically Ilya.
Hypothetical Ilya, if you will.
But if it's not Ilya, then Rusev. Because then we have either Gunther versus Ilya again at SummerSlam.
Yes, please.
Or we have Rusev versus Gunther at SummerSlam. Kiss my ass. Those are good matchups.
My only concern with that is, would we have two heels at SummerSlam?
At this point, Rusev's a tweener. Or not Rusev.
At this point, Gunther's a tweener.
Gunther's a tweener. That's what I meant. At this point, Gunther's a tweener.
Yeah. So here's my thinking. So I got Sammy winning the tournament.
Right?
He goes on to get
You
Gunther
can take that down now.
Oh, okay. Sammy against Gunther at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Sammy beats Gunther at SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Seth cashes in, screws over Sammy, takes the belt.
I don't think he's a dude. Well, he might do that belt.
I mean, the next best thing to cashing in at WrestleMania is cashing in at SummerSlam.
That's true.
And it's a personal thing with him and Sammy.
Right?
Gunther doesn't need the belt.
Damn you, I think you're right.
I generally am. I just happened to be wrong yesterday with Seth cashing in.
Yeah, I hated that. Because I so waited for it.
I was waiting too. I waited until the picture faded out.
I waited till
even after the credits popped up. I was like, oh, they might do it after the credits because they've done that before.
Yep.
But yeah. So we talked about the tournament. Let's talk about that main event: Jey Uso and Gunther. Jey Uso's best match.
I am so sick of everybody saying that Jey Uso's a mid card. No, he's earned this. Let him enjoy it. They took it away from. They've now taken it back away from him. So y'all can just leave him the hell alone.
I think this might be considered a litmus test because Jey had the belt for 50-something days.
Right.
He was clearly over as champion.
Correct.
He had good matches as champion.
He did.
So I think he'll get another run with it eventually. If not that, then the other belt. At some point, he'll be a world champion again at some point.
I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't take the Intercontinental belt off of Dom at some point.
No, I
if
still
Dom
think
still has it.
I think that's earmarked for Penta.
Yeah, I could see that.
I could see them maybe given him and Jimmy a brief run, because if you remember last night, New Day had a promo said they were looking for competition.
Yeah.
Nobody gave them better competition than the Usos.
Yep. And
Dwayne
The
says
draft
Jey
is coming
Uso
up.
should have got a longer run. I think he'll get one eventually.
You know what? I don't think
50
his
days
reg-
isn't bad.
I was gonna say that was a decent run.
Remember back in the day when they would just every pay-per-view they do a title change?
Oh, I hated that.
Me too.
Hot potato.
Hot potato. Yeah.
I hate
This
hot
was a
potato belt.
lukewarm, well-cooked potato,
Mhm.
not a hot potato.
No, but anymore, I feel like 50 days is hot potatoing it.
It depends on the company.
Yeah.
Sean says, when does El Grande get unmasked? Does he need to?
I think he's just going to disappear eventually.
That's where I thought it would have been brilliant to have him win the briefcase and then have
Try
Gable
to
try
cash
to
in
weasel and cash in. It's like, oh, you can't do that because El Grande Americano won the briefcase.
Right? But I thought they weren't the same person.
Well, he could always say that El Grande bequeathed him the briefcase.
That's true. Yeah, I was going to say,
I just
you were
want to say
asking.
bequeath. I'll go that way.
I figured you did. The only other person I had that I thought they might put in that special question mark spot, I didn't know if they would put Mr. Iguana in it.
That would have been discussed. If they put Mr. Iguana in that match, let's put that back up again. Mr. Iguana with Bronson Reed, Rusev, and Sheamus, they would kill him.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of Mr. Iguana after Saturday. He would not stand a fucking chance in that match. Rusev would eat like Yeska.
Well, him and Reed might share.
Well, they might, yeah. I mean, Sheamus might take pity on him because he does wear green.
That's true. That's true.
And Sheamus has some whimsy to him. He might appreciate the humor.
Right.
But yeah, I think if Mr. Iguana does anything, he's going to go to NXT.
Yeah.
And hopefully not even full time. I hope he just as an attraction.
I hope he's an attraction.
I got a feeling. I've seen him once. I got a feeling a little bit of Mr. Iguana goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I say that with all due respect.
Orange Cassidy, what?
Only difference is Mr. Iguana looks like he cares.
Right.
He doesn't look lazy. He just looks weird.
All right, I got my list back
Like
to 10
Danhausen.
again. Danhausen. You want him with Danhausen. We gotta get Danhausen. We gotta get Danhausen on TNA or something, though.
When are we gonna get Danhausen on the podcast?
That one's on you. He's your buddy.
He's not my buddy, but I mean, I've had several pleasant conversations with the man. But I don't know if we can afford him.
Yeah, there's the bigger kicker.
That's generally our biggest problem. Can we afford this guy?
That reminds me, we need to talk Cecil. We talked Cecil and Jordan.
Oh yeah, I did send Jordan a message.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, haven't heard back yet. Stay tuned.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, one last order of business today, Minderz, before we get out of here. Because
have we gotten through everything?
We've gotten through everything on the list.
That was a big list.
Yeah. I think it looked bigger because I had all the results on the list.
Oh,
but a lot of stuff to talk about, though. But it is one of my favorite Tuesdays of the month, Minderz. And
hey, I'm actually partaking this time.
You are, but anyway, we can't go until we get the countdown.
Let's do it.
Did you know that's my actual alarm on my phone now in the mornings?
Of course it is.
I mean, why not? What's life without whimsy?
I still have the same one I've had for 3 years.
Well, I had to change the one I had because it was the NFL Films music, but it would scare the crap out of me when it would start.
I'll tell you off air what mine is.
I'll bet I can guess. But
yeah,
anyway.
You probably can.
All right. Well, it is time for Top 10 Tuesday, Minderz. And our topic, and I'll explain the parameters after I just show the topic. It is Tony Khan wasted opportunities.
Yes.
So this is purely related to talent.
Yes.
And this is either talent that he never signed, had but squandered with bad booking or just dumbness, or guys that, or people, I should say, that he let slip through his fingers.
Yes.
Now, some of
And
my
I stuck with basically just the ones he had and screwed up.
okay, well, we're gonna have some different ones, I think, but
Yeah.
some of mine are gonna be obvious. Some of them maybe not so much.
Some of mine are obvious.
There are some that I completely whiffed on that I forgot about that I think you caught and put on your list. So
Yes. Yes.
we will do my 10 first, and feel free to comment if they are on your list, Minderz, and then afterwards we'll see what I missed.
Finish off my list. Okay.
Yeah. All right, number 10. The newest person on the list, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander.
Yeah, I debated. I really debated.
Man, has he? I don't think he's won a match since
He
they brought
hasn't.
him in. They
No.
saddled him with the Callis family already.
Yep.
And when you look at what he did in TNA, look what he's doing in Maple Leaf Pro right now.
Right? Right?
And you see just what Tony Khan is screwing up on an epic scale.
I know.
Although I do give Josh credit, he changed his finish because his finish is that butterfly pile driver, the C4 spike, which is basically a J driller.
Right.
So he's tweaked it so it's not a pile driver.
Oh, good.
So, all right. So he's my number 10.
Okay.
Number 9 has won some gold in AEW, but he could be so much better based on what I saw of him before he came to AEW. That's Switchblade Jay White.
Okay, he was on my list.
I mean, he was the guy in New Japan.
Yeah.
He'd beaten Okada and Tanahashi multiple times for the New Japan, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. He was a good heel in Japan, but when he got over here, they put him with Juice is fine. I mean, they were.
Yeah. They were good.
But they didn't have him do anything. The only thing they really did with him was they put him in that feud with MJF, and I thought he should have won the belt then.
Yeah.
But then he's the cardboard guy, or he's running around with the ass boys, and it's just they could be doing so much more with Jay White.
They could be, but they don't.
Mm-hmm. All right, number 8 in the "Where the hell did this guy go" column.
Yeah,
Wardlow.
he's on my list.
Where the fuck is Wardlow?
He is definitely on my list.
Is he chasing Darby Allin up Mount Everest?
Maybe. Who the hell knows?
Is he the Yeti? Is he live on Mount Everest?
Maybe.
They had he was so over when he turned
him and
babyface.
MJF. Yeah.
They basically saddled him with that TNT championship. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of what I figured. But anyway, the matches with Hobbs were okay. I mean, I like my Haas fights.
Right. That was still a 3-year build, though, with MJF. 3 freaking years.
And it was a 2-minute match, and then MJF went on vacation.
Yeah. And then he got hit with like 20 quote-unquote security guards.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think we knew part of them.
Probably. It depends on what town they were in.
I think they were in Indy.
Okay.
So we probably knew more than 2 or 3 of them.
Aaron Atlas probably got powerbombed once or twice.
They were either Indy or St. I think they were either Indy or St. Louis. I'm pretty sure.
He could have. I could have seen them putting that world title on Wardlow when he was at his hottest.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if maybe it's. I don't know if he has attitude in the back, if he's not liked, if they're not happy with his work. I don't know. It could be anything, but they had something with Wardlow, but now I don't know if he'll ever get it back again.
Sean, you're gonna have to wait till next week. We'll get there. We're not in the mood to talk about AEW. Well, we want to do our top 10 of AEW.
We're trying to talk about AEW.
Yeah, I know.
All right, number 7, the only group in the list here.
And your list.
well, in my list. But one of them's gone, but they all qualify here in House of Black.
I agree.
I
I was
thinking one
actually
of
gonna.
them could be so good. They're trying stuff with Brody, I guess, but I mean, they put Buddy in a match where he broke his ankle on his entrance because the ring was shit.
Yeah.
They never gave Black any singles matches to speak of.
It was all trios.
It was all trios or tag. They sometimes he tagged with Brody, but
Sometimes
number one,
he tagged with Buddy before Brody came in.
well, Brody was there first.
Oh, I thought Buddy was there first.
No. Brody was the first one.
Oh.
Because they were tag team in PWG.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You're right. Damn it. I've said that a lot tonight. I don't like it.
For my money, Buddy should never have been in the group.
He's so good.
They never had a chance to do Buddy against Black, which if you remember those matches they had on Raw.
Freaking amazing.
So good.
Well, even NXT, they were really good.
Yeah. I don't think they ever wrestled each other on NXT, did they?
I'll have to go back and check.
I could have sworn they started.
Maybe Buddy Raw had already moved up to the main. Maybe that was what I'm thinking.
Not 100% sure on that, but the matches they had were fucking bangers, though.
They were always so good.
Buddy,
because they trusted each other.
Yeah. Buddy, pound for pound, might be one of the best pure wrestlers that they have as far as like all around talent.
And underrated.
It got a great look.
Yep.
Got good moves. His
just
strikes
change his name from Buddy.
Well, or keep him Buddy, get him out of the goth houseboys gimmick.
Something. I don't know what they need to do.
But yeah,
or Buddy, just call him Murphy.
Yeah. Call him Mr. Ripley.
Mr. Rip. I like it. Did you see the reel they put up of him talking about why he married Rhea?
No.
He's like, I didn't want her to beat me up.
Yeah, then there was a video where she chopped him in their house. And he almost pissed himself.
Yeah, I saw that. Wonder who wears the pants in that family.
On a good day, neither one.
Right.
All right. Number 6. We're going off the rails here.
No, not us.
Heaven forbid. Well, we just learned her name is Blake Monroe now, but in AEW, she was Mariah May.
Yep.
Tony really hit the big one there by letting her get out of AEW. Because she's a star.
She was done with Tony, so who else were you?
Tony, but man.
And we know that won't work for me, sister. Wasn't going to let her win.
No. The feud with Tony was great, though.
It was one of my favorite things.
A little too much bleeding for my taste, but still.
Yeah.
The promos were good. The matches were good. It was basically a 2-year-long feud.
It really was. Yeah.
But I'm curious what she's going to do in the WWE going forward.
Oh, I see her getting one of those championships pretty quick.
I think she'll get the NXT title sooner than later.
Yeah.
And that's
I'm not going to say immediately.
No, I don't think it's going to be one of those JC's as a transitional champion thing.
No, I think JC's going to have it for a little while because I think they're going to. Well, I think something's going to happen and Fallon's going to get mad at JC, and they're going to switch some things around.
How long until Iron Survivor?
That's November, I think.
Okay. Do you think they hold off and put her in Iron Survivor and have her win the title shot that way?
Maybe. Spell Survivor, right, Mindy? You can do this.
You are.
Stop it.
VOR at the end.
Match.
Do I need the music?
No. I just got to figure out how to spell and talk at the same time. And that could be, issues.
There we go.
That's a deadline. When is NXT? Well, I'm sorry. When is NXT deadline? If they don't change the name of it, because they usually do that. 2025. They don't have it yet.
Okay.
They're not saying yet.
Yeah, so I'm just going to assume maybe that they'll have JC hold it through, or somebody, maybe it'll be Fallon by that point, holding it through like Iron Survivor, and then.
Last year's deadline was in December.
Okay.
So that gives you at least an idea.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe they put the North American title on Mariah first.
No, I think that's going to be Zarya. I think Zarya is going to take it off Soul.
She's going to roll over on Soul Ruka?
I think so.
All right. Number 5, Minderz.
Yes.
I wish I could put him higher on the list, but Murder Hawk Monster, Lance Archer.
I didn't have him either. What am I doing?
Lance Archer should have beat Adam Page for that heavyweight championship when they did the Texas Death Match.
No, yeah, there's a lot of things they should have with Lance.
Yeah, should have put him on TV.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
If they could have hired Davey Boy Smith Jr. and brought back Killer Elite Squad for the tag division.
Jeez.
He is maybe the best big man in wrestling.
He really is.
Athleticism wise.
He's really good.
Yeah.
And he threw Joey Riley outside of the ring during a dark match.
This is true. That's what made Joey
a star. He lawn darted his ass.
Am I right?
Fuck.
That's the moment that made Joey O'Reilly a star.
Oh, of course it did. He's made it now.
You ever go back and watch any of Archer's stuff in TNA when he was Lance Hoyt?
I have not.
He was basically long hair. He looked like Test with a tramp stamp.
Okay.
Best way I can nutshell it, but he's so good.
I mean,
they made him a fucking monster in Japan when he was.
As he should be.
He was their Brody when he was in New Japan. To the point he would like march through the stands and send all the fans running for their lives. It was great.
You know what?
What?
Somebody else just hit my head.
Okay, well, don't say it because I want to see if he's on my list or she.
No. It wouldn't be on. He wouldn't be on this list.
Oh, okay.
What about Omos for the filler guy for the?
Be a mega hoss fight if that's the case.
Yeah. You said Japan, and that's what it triggered me.
I don't think he'd win, but I could see him.
I don't think he'd win, but
part of me wants Ilya to win so he could get him and Gunther again.
I mean, we're going to get it eventually.
Eventually, yeah. So we're
okay. Go back. Focus.
Back.
Top 10.
We'll ruminate more on the tournament when after next week when they have more matches.
Yeah, when we finally know who are. Well, yeah, we'll probably know.
We'll know most of them, except for one match on SmackDown.
Yep. Okay. Continue.
All right, number 4.
Yes.
No brainer for me.
Yep, he's on my list.
They have completely and utterly shit the bed on this guy.
Even if they would have put him back on ROH.
Yeah, put him on Ring of Honor, make him their world champion. Better than Jericho. I think he could have had a good run with that TNT championship.
Mm-hmm.
At very least, if not the IHOP championship or the Continental Breakfast Championship.
Continental Breakfast
Championship. He can have a good match with anybody.
He can.
He could wrestle a broomstick.
Let's not go that far.
I will go that far. He led Ric Flair through a retirement match where he died twice.
Can have a match with a baby?
Hopefully not a real baby. But Minderz, I'm going to repeat what I said. He led Ric Flair through a match where he died twice.
Yeah, I know.
And they stuck him with...
And they stuck him with Jarrett.
You know what? I'm okay with him with Sanjay as a manager. But why put him with Zippy and Jarrett?
Oh, Zippy.
I digress. All right. All right. Number 3.
Mm-hmm.
We already talked about him a little bit today. Miro.
I did not have him on my list.
Let's pay a guy to just stay in Bulgaria for 3 years and not use him.
After we put him in Minnie Mouse pajamas.
Mickey Mouse.
Oh, was it Mickey? I thought it was Minnie. I thought they were pink.
And they made him a video game enthusiast with Pip Sabian and Penelope Pitstop.
Yep.
And he could have been their world champion.
Mm-hmm.
I dare say should have been.
Him and Wardlow would have been good.
Him and Hobbs is what I wanted.
That would have been good too. Yeah.
It happened, but I wanted to see more of it.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Miro, kind of a no-brainer for me. Number 2, one of our favorites that we got to talk to once upon a time.
Yep. Then yes, she's on my list if it's a she.
The Brick House.
The Brick House.
So good.
We actually had a really good conversation.
We had an outstanding conversation with Camille. And you didn't say anything untoward.
I kept it very tactful.
You kept it very tactful. And I think she looked like she may have appreciated that. Because how many times does she get bonehead saying, "Oh, they're not booking you right"? Or
that wasn't the way I said it.
No, you said it like somebody in the knows her stuff.
Because I believe the way I kind of said it was, we love what you do and what you can do, but we're confused as to the direction that they were wanting to take your character.
And she said,
"Me too."
Oh,
I mean, we didn't badmouth the company. We didn't.
No, we were very
neither one of us badmouthed the company.
Which is really hard for me to not badmouth Tony.
Oh, it's so hard. But I feel like we had the connection at that right level, that, or at least the thought process connection at the right level, that she knew we weren't trying to put her down for what she had done, knowing that it wasn't her decision.
Right.
Is basically what it boiled down to.
Man, she could run that women's division, though.
Good. She should have destroyed Monet. Destroyed Monet.
Imagine if she would have been there when Jade was there.
I would have taken.
If Jade would have got more seasoning.
Well, I would have taken Camille and Bane.
Is it oddly fitting that Jade was so as green as she was in AEW, given her name?
Yeah.
Because Jade is a green thing.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Okay, I'm just making sure everybody's picking up what I'm putting down here.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Well, no, Camille had 800 some odd days as NWA Women's Champion. She could have had her with Megan Bain.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you.
Oh, okay.
It's I who is agreeing with you.
Okay.
Or heel Camille against Tony.
Right.
There's
a lot of things they
could be doing. Instead, let's make her the clumsy butler of Mercedes Moné.
Yeah. Fuck off. Sorry. Fuck off. All right, next.
You're at her magazine.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, now number 1, you kind of had to talk me down on this one. You said I picked the wrong guy.
You did, but you didn't. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from with it, but I don't think Tony is the one to blame for it.
No, this is by far the
biggest blunder.
Biggest miss signing in the company, I'll say.
Yes.
And by company, I'm also including the ownership. Like the people that run the... I put Jay Briscoe.
Yep. And it's not that I disagree with you.
But it's like you said, it's more Time Warner.
It was more Time Warner than...
Which is true. I'll give Tony that break there. But whether it was the Briscoes in the tag team division or just Jay in the singles.
Right?
If Moxley wants to get dirty, put him with Jay.
Jay Briscoe, Moxley wants to get dirty. They can go out the chicken coop and have another chicken coop match, and let's see what happens.
Yeah, right.
A chicken coop match.
Jay Briscoe. Yeah, the fight on the farm. Jay Briscoe. I'll say about Jay what I said about Arn Anderson is he was the most believable guy in the wrestling business.
He was
in the last 20 years.
He was what they all say that you should be, and that was his personality times 10.
Exactly.
He didn't.
And
He didn't have to. He didn't have to. Everything he said, you knew he meant.
everything you said, you believed him 100%. And the
Yep.
promos were always good. Everything in the ring looked like you had
He
to
was a
look at
monster.
it twice.
Yep.
Like he didn't look like he was throwing fake forearms like Moxley. He didn't have to bleed, but he would.
Yeah. And
he
most
didn't
of the time, it
always do the
wasn't.
hardcore matches, but
Well, most of the time, it wasn't even when he bled. I feel like none of it was ever gigged. I felt like all of it was
it was a hard way.
all hard way. Now,
I won't go
granted,
that far, but
there might have been barbed wire or other things that were there that caused him to do that.
sure.
But I don't think he was one of those that intentionally went under, stuck his head under the ring, cut it up, came back out.
One of my favorite episodes that we've ever done on this show is when we did the tribute after he passed. It was you, me, and Gary, and we
I
played
think that's the first time.
promos.
That's the first time I was on, I think.
First or second.
Yeah.
But in this iteration, not
Yeah.
counting when with the Marco Narge period.
Well, yeah, not counting when I was your Mike Tenay of 01.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did a really completely deep dive on Jay Briscoe. Talked about his.
I remember that.
Playing his promos. The Briscoes are JTR Hall of Famers.
They are.
Not for nothing. And yeah, and I remember I don't listen to a lot of Jericho's podcasts, but he did a tribute episode with a bunch of the Ring of Honor guys, Mark and Lethal and the Bucks. And the Bucks were actually coherent and didn't sound like douches. They were talking about their friend.
Children. Okay.
They sounded almost adult.
Almost.
But Lethal was completely broken up about the fact that he didn't get his shot in AEW.
Yeah.
And he knew. He said he made one mistake, and the network wouldn't let him.
Which blows my mind because you see all the.
He also atoned for that mistake. He made up for it.
He did.
Donated to charities, and his views changed over the years.
But that's what gets me is you see some of the other people that have made similar views.
Yeah.
And we see them on our TV.
Mm-hmm. So that's why I put Jay on the list. But like I said, I can't completely blame Tony for that one.
Okay, well, I have one.
All right,
two,
what did I miss?
3,
I know one of them I missed that I'm really mad at
4.
myself for not having on there.
I have 6 that I had that you didn't.
Okay, lay it on me.
All right, so I had Taya Valkyrie.
Taya Valkyrie, okay.
Yeah, I really think they missed something with her. They started to do something with her and Jade, and then she just kind of went to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
I think they missed a golden opportunity with Brian Pillman Jr., especially when the Brian Pillman Dark Side of the Ring came out. Because he went up for that. Was it the TNT title? I think it was the TNT title.
Yeah.
I think they missed an opportunity where they could have put the belt on him there really easily.
Well, the episode of Dynamite when his aunt was in the crowd.
Yeah.
And they started doing the stuff with him and MJF.
Yeah.
It lasted a week.
Yeah, exactly.
Fast food booking. What can I say?
Yep.
Hold the mustard.
And to go with your J, I actually had Mark.
Okay.
I had Mark Briscoe.
I didn't have Mark just because they did put the Ring of Honor World title on him, which I thought was fitting.
I had Mark for the simple fact that they could have done so much more with him. I think he could have been their champ. He could have been their champ.
Definitely. He could have been their top babyface.
Oh, yeah. Especially right after Jay passed.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure a lot of that had to do with Mark, but I still think they've missed a lot of opportunities with Briscoe, and now he's kind of the
job guy.
Yeah.
I hate calling him a job guy because he's so good.
He is. He's so good. All right. I got 2 more ladies. One, Jamie Hayter.
Okay.
I think they totally missed the mark with her and Britt Baker.
They had something there.
They never
got a chance to do the blow off.
Yep.
Now, I don't even know what Britt's doing, but
she's probably getting paid to stay at home.
Yeah. Run her dental practice.
Probably. And then I actually have Athena. Okay. I'm surprised they haven't brought her up and did more with her on the main show.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just having her in the ROH stuff.
The former Ember Moon, for those that don't know.
Yeah. Which I mean, I know right now she's working a lot with Billy Starks over in ROH. So, I mean, I don't hate it, but.
Oh, she's running Ring of Honor right now. But she's not. But there's no TV. It's just on their streaming platform.
Right. And that's obnoxious. Yeah. Because I'm not paying for another one.
No. Why can't they put Ring of Honor on
Triller?
Collision?
That'd be, or something.
Make Collision a Ring of Honor show.
There you go. I'm okay with it. And then I'm going to call you out because you're going to kick yourself. You're going to kick yourself.
All right.
Santana and Ortiz.
Yeah, I can't. I'm kicking myself for not picking at least Santana.
Right?
After what he's been doing in House of Glory and TNA.
Right?
The Santana Ortiz, I don't think, and NXT, but him and Ortiz, I guess. I mean, you can't blame that on Tony because apparently they don't like each other and they didn't want to team up anymore.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't when they first started.
No, when they first started, they should have been tag champs from. They should have been
tag champs from the beginning.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But instead, let's make you one of the 4 underlings of Chris Jericho.
Because that's a brilliant
Hager
idea.
And Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
So instead of carrying gold, they had to carry Jericho's old ass around for 3 years. Jack Action.
Fuck off.
If I was a manager, I'm taking that name.
Jack Action?
Jack Action.
Okay.
Action Jack.
Oh, Lord.
Maybe not.
Yeah, no.
All right. Well,
Rip, we've gone almost 2.5 hours.
I think we got a nice vent out of that list, Minderz.
Yeah, I think we did too.
So, I'm trying to remember, what are we doing next Tuesday?
Sandman!
Bash the Rail. Dickie and Madrox are joining us. We're going to do it live here on Facebook Live and YouTube, and I believe we're going to do it. We're going to try to also simulcast it on the Mad Bash Studios YouTube channel. I have to work out the logistics. If not, then they'll put it on their Patreon. We'll put it on ours. All kinds of good stuff there. Hey, Minderz, what do we have coming up on the Independent Wrestling Shootout tomorrow?
We have the Grand Regent Camaro Jackson. And we're going to talk a lot of smack about Carson Drake.
Do you think his kids call him the Grand Regent?
I hope so.
I'll hail the Grand Regent, they say when he comes in for breakfast.
He says, who do you honor? They better honor him.
You would think so. Well, if they're Christians, it's in that book of theirs, honor thy father and mother.
It is.
Honor thy quad father.
He's not the quad father anymore.
I know, but I was just playing on words, but honor the Grand Regent.
I know it was a play on words, but I'm just saying. We get to talk smack about Carson Drake tomorrow, and I'm so excited.
Yeah, you do not care for Carson Drake.
I don't. But that's what makes him great.
That's true. Friday, we will be dropping a new episode of the Extreme Effin' Review podcast at 9 a.m. Central Time on.
Oh, watch that one. That's a good one.
Amazon.
Or listen to that one.
Listen, yes.
Yeah, listen to that one. That's a good one.
This one's the one with the fallout from CyberSlam 2000. And it gets spicy.
It's a lot of fun.
And then Friday evening at 6 o'clock on YouTube, there will be a new episode of Gold Rush coming up. Where me and Barry are talking about the first TNA World Heavyweight Championship that they brought in right after they severed their ties from the NWA.
Gotcha.
So we got that coming up, like we said, next week, Sandman, and then July 1st, I can announce this. We will be joined by another ECW original Minderz, Johnny Swinger, Johnny Parisi, whatever you want to call him. That should be
send me homework for that one.
I'll send you homework for that one. We should be coming up on when he pops up in ECW anytime now.
Okay.
But then he was also.
Don't forget, we'll have our watch along too.
We got a watch along. I think we're doing that next week.
Is that next week?
Next Thursday, we're recording Hardcore Heaven 2000, also with Dickie Wabash, which will drop next Friday.
Man, does Dickie realize how many podcasts he's got to do when he comes back?
He is. He calls himself Dickie Third Mic now.
I know he does, but he's doing 2 for us, and they've got their 2, and
so we got a lot of irons in the fire. Then the week after that, I think, is when I'm taking vacation. So you're
And we're
doing
gonna
the
play.
shootout.
We're playing a replay.
We're doing a JT archive on that Tuesday. Well, Thursday. Well, nothing will be on Tuesday. We'll just drop it as a podcast on Thursday.
Yeah.
And then Wednesday, I think you're going to do a shootout without me, Minderz.
I am.
Well, if you want to.
You gotta teach me how to use the stuff.
It's pretty simple, but I don't think you'll have any issues with it. You just got to find a co-host.
Oh, I thought you were finding me a co-host.
Well, if I do, I'm just going to send you Trust.
God. Hey, you said you wanted it. That might be actually kind of
Ooh.
funny. You
that's
gotta
your
ask
fault.
him.
I'll ask him.
Then you gotta show me how to do. You gotta show me how to do all the stuff to get him the link and all that fun stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, I can send the
Or
links
if you
and
can
everything.
help me with that stuff.
Yeah.
You're just gonna be tired that week.
I'm going to be tired. I might not even be home, but
You help me
first
get that
gig
set
rock
up,
and
though,
roll camp
beforehand.
that week, and I'm going
Yep.
to be all week in Danville. So that's what we got coming up here for the rest of the month.
We got shows coming up this weekend. We got
Yep.
shows coming up. Oh, that reminds me. I can talk to you about the following weekend.
Okay. Well,
The
we'll do that
21st.
off mic.
Well, yeah, of course.
So, Minderz, let's say we get out of here. Thanks,
Sounds like a plan.
everybody. What?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, thanks, everybody, for joining us until next week, which you definitely do not want to miss.
You don't want to miss.
For Minderz, this is Reb reminding you all life is hard, work stiff. We'll see you guys next.
Thanks, guys.